Getting started. We're getting this thing popping. I got the two icons in the building, Mr. Joe Cruz and DJ Nino. It is about to get really interesting in here. Really interesting. The B-roll that you guys are going to get after this is going to be out of control, let me tell you. For those of you that are subscribed, exactly. For those of you that are subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that. But before we get this whole thing started, Sandy, hit him with the intro.
From the heart of Kendall, Florida, it's Pass the Mic Podcast. Solutions for real-world problems with real-world people. And, of course, those crazy people, too. And now, your host, Eddie G.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you just logging on, you're sitting here with Eddie G. To my right-hand side, to your left-hand side on the screen, you got the one and only DJ Nino. And of course, off-screen, he couldn't make it into the studio, and we had so much craziness happening over here. As you know, all the you crazies out there listening, I have Joe Cruz on the line. Joe, tell him what's up, man.
What's up, everybody? It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Eddie. So excited to finally meet DJ Nino, the world famous DJ Nino. So, let's do it, man.
Famous, get out of here. The icon Joe Cruz, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to be here with you.
Hold on.
I've heard so much about you.
There we go. We got the applause. We got the applause in there.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm a DJ Nino, born and raised right here in Miami-Dade. Actually, this same zip code. This is my neighborhood. I know a lot of your guests say, man, you're far. You're way too far out here. You're not, man. This is my zip code, 33186.
This is your zone?
This is my zone. I grew up in this area. I do the morning show on Mix 98.3 alongside Santi y Laurita on El Flow de Miami. And that's me, basically.
That's it?
Right
That's
now, currently. I mean, right now.
That's all you're going to give me?
Man, we're going to get so much between Joe and I of classic radio talk that's all I'm gonna take.
So basically, you were born and then all of a sudden
I got a mix. I got a mix. Done. Simple as that. We'll get through it, man. Look, I started when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
How did I get the DJ bug, the mixing?
Yeah.
It was. My brother was doing his first 13-year-old party, his first teenager party. My mom got him a DJ. I saw the DJ come in with all this equipment, and I'm like, I had always been into like cabling and sound. I used to do mixes on cassettes.
So I brought you back before the show started.
100%. I went to the warehouse, saw all the gear. I'm like, man, this is taking me back memories. But yeah, I used to do mixes off of cassettes, pause, play. I remember I used to do a mix with MC Hammer, Turn This Mother Out.
Oh, yeah.
On cassettes. And then I see all this gear coming in. I'm like, whoa, what is this? What is this world? And it turned out that a friend of mine in school, his brother was selling some DJ gear.
Was that all he was selling?
Yeah, that's all he was selling, thank God. And I begged my dad, please, I'll pay you back. It was $700. For $700, I got two Gemini, I think 1,500 turntables. A Gemini mixer, wood, wasn't even rack mount, it was the wood sides, EQ up top, and like these weird speakers and a Gemini amp. And I went to work. I just started practicing. First gig, $80, and I played all night. It was a quinces. Yeah.
For a quinces?
For a quinces.
And you had to MC
corner. It. And I didn't even, did I MC? I don't even remember if I MC. Bro, if I had 15 records, it was too much. I'm not kidding. 100%.
You know,
that was my first
story,
gig.
Bro. My first gig was a wedding.
Wow.
At 12.
That's big.
At 12.
That's big. MC and everything?
Well, my dad MC'd because
nice.
I didn't have the skills.
Gotcha. 12 years old?
12.
That's crazy. What was I doing at 12 years old?
Yeah.
Not
I had to use a crate in order to stand up to reach the turntables because that's all we had back then was turntables.
And now the professional name is Apple Boxes.
Yeah, right? For sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And yeah, I from there started hustling and started doing little mobile gigs. I worked for a company for a guy named Wayne Ringler, WJM Productions, that he used to do the parties with DJ Laz.
Right. Okay.
So and I used to DJ gigs with him, and then when Laz started doing parties with Jam and Johnny, I called up Jam and Johnny, hey man, here's my gear. I want to start doing gigs, and Jammin' Johnny took me in. I started doing mobile games with Jammin' Johnny.
Shout out to Jammin' Johnny, bro.
Yeah, man.
How
Jammin'
many
Johnny.
people we have in our circle surrounded by Jammin' Johnny?
Oh, I imagine.
It's
there's
crazy.
tons. He's been around.
Everybody's linked in some way.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a big world but a small world all at the same time.
It is, man. And if there's something in radio, you're always gonna be intertwined.
It's crazy.
Always. And people are always gonna, if you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad. If
If you're bad, you have your own
Exactly.
podcast. That's how it works.
Yeah, man. No, it's just like being a bad person. I'm not even talking about talent at this point. I'm talking about if you're a bad person,
Thanks,
man,
bro.
you're not gonna make it. No, man. No, man.
Yeah.
But
Now
what
we're
I'm
stuck on a podcast. Jeez.
Can't even get the guy on the screen.
No.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
All
It's
right.
low budget, but we'll make it happen.
I love this, man. I wish I could do this every morning.
Really?
Just like this, yes.
No problem.
Just off the cuff.
Sandy, let's get his resume. Let's see if he qualifies to be on the podcast
Please.
every morning.
I'm dying to do podcasts.
You
man.
Right?
got to
do
intern
it.
for a year, and pay your dues. To get
Let's
going.
do it.
You know how it is.
It ain't the first time we do it.
So all of you that are tuning in right now, just logging on, if you're hearing a strange voice that you don't see where it's coming from, it's not the voice of God. It's close,
No.
but it's not the voice of God.
He
It's
is
the one and only Joe Cruz. He's over in Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Fort
close enough.
Lauderdale, at home, chilling. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it into the studio. He has something going on personal that just unfortunately he can't be here in person. With everything happening with COVID-19 and everything else like that, we just wanted to make sure everybody is safe. That's why we host a show and give it to you guys virtually. So Joe, give them a little background about you. We all hear you on my show in the beginning and the end, but
Yeah.
But some people don't know what that is. So tell them a little bit about it.
Well, years ago, I used to be on Y100. I was a jock. I would do overnights. And, that kind of led to production. And when you do production, you deal with the station voice. And back in the day, getting a hold of the station voice wasn't as easy as it is today because we didn't really have the internet. I don't want to date myself, but
The
yes, we didn't
interwebs.
have the internet. And so I would have to voice a couple of things for Y100 here and there. And then that led to me getting blown out of Y100 eventually. And then I got a job at Power 96. And the PD there, the boss, he made me the voice of the station. So then I started doing all the little pieces in between the songs, the things that identify the radio station. So it would go like Power 96 in between a song into the next song.
It's Power
doing those things.
96.5.
Exactly.
WPOW Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Everybody knows that. It's
There you go,
amazing.
dude.
That's great.
The gig is yours. The gig is yours.
That's it, right? I'm good to go.
Yeah, they blew me out
Love
years
it.
ago, so you should take it.
You're in the mix.
That's the DJ
You got it. DJ Def. That's great branding.
Yeah. So then, being the voice of Power, it's such a iconic radio station, and everyone around the country and even around the world, they tune in, they listen to Power, and then everybody wanted to kind of emulate that sound, so they would hire me. Woo! So then I became the voice of stations around the country and then the globe, and then that led to doing some television work. I'm actually the voice of BN Sports USA. I'm the English voice. So they do all the El Clasico. It's all the big soccer matches, around the world. So that's kind of what I'm doing now.
That's big. Being sports is huge right now.
Yeah, it's great. It's a fun gig and a great company to work with.
Awesome.
So awesome, man. And the bug, how'd you get the bug?
Simple as this. I used to work for Winn-Dixie. I was a butcher. And I would drive in at, 4 in the morning to go do my job, and I would listen to radio. And I'd listen to the morning shows coming on at, like 5 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, man, that sounds like so much fun. And then when I would leave my shift, I'd listen to the midday and the afternoon guy. And I was like, I could totally do that. So, like you mentioned before, I had some health issues. My kidneys were kind of failing, and working in the cold was not the greatest environment being a butcher. So I quit my job. I went to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. They had a broadcasting program, and I started doing that. I was able to go on a tour with the school to Y100, and I toured the whole facility and all that stuff. And at the end of the tour, they asked all of us students to fill out applications because they were looking for people to do call out research. Because back in the day,
Yep.
radio stations would actually call people at home, ask them what their favorite radio station was. They'd play them some song hooks down the line, and that was the deal. Well, long story short, I got hired along with this other girl, and we went to go work for Y100, and at the time, Big 106 as well. And we did that. So that's kind of how I got the bug, just listening to the radio and being really excited to, like, how did they make that stuff happen? I could totally do that. That sounds like fun. That's kind of how I did, man.
That's awesome.
Let's give some shout outs over here. Let's give some shout outs. Ralph Sosa says, what up, Nino?
Ralph, what's up, man? Dímelo.
Jesse Lopez, yes, bro, the AC, I know. One day I will figure out a way to shut that damn thing off so I don't hear it in my headphones either. Michael, what's going on, brother? How you doing? And Carla, of course, she's always tuning in. Thank you so much for you guys. For you guys that are hiding on YouTube, I love the likes. I love everything you guys do. I love the 1 million plus that we have watching and listening to us on Facebook, and about 22,000 listeners. But if you're live with us right now, drop a comment. I could see it. You guys can ask these guys questions. We bring celebrities, we bring local talent, we bring everything to you guys. It's called Pass the Mic for a reason. We want to pass the mic to you guys and then pass the mic to these guys and get everybody talking at the same time so that we can get these questions out and you guys can get your answers directly from the horse's mouth.
I love it, man. I love being here. This is great. I love the interaction, by the way.
Yeah, man. It's really it's fun. It's different. You know what I mean? It's a little different. We're working on a hotline now, so you guys will be able to give us a call in the studio, just like you would back in the day. We're making some massive changes here. We're working with Confetti and Fog at their studio, at the CFX Studios, and hopefully we can get that studio rolling, and we'll have a permanent home there. So we're working on some really big things. 4,000 square feet of just infinity walls, green screens, black walls. We can bring in our cars into.
Wow! All right.
See.
Let's keep it up.
Submit your resume. Submit your resume.
Please hire me, man.
I need some interns.
I'll take it.
Pay your dues, man. 1 year. That's all I gotta do.
Well, you guys got a little interview of what they did and how they got their start, and it seems like everybody's got the same story, man. We had Eddie Alexander in one of the beginning episodes. That's a common ground between all of us as well, just like Jam and Johnny. Basically what he said was he walked in, started hustling, and somebody finally gave him a shot.
That's how it is. It's work ethic at the end of the day.
You're still in radio. Do you find it
Somehow.
to be still the same?
It's completely different than back in the day. At least when I remember the first time I ever got the shot to mix on the radio was thanks to Jam and Johnny, and it was Power 96, and he had a mix at noon on Saturdays. It was the Hangover mix, I believe.
Yeah, the Hangover mix.
And he gave me the shot to do it. We were good friends, and he gave me the shot to do it. I was shaking, but the word, man. This was, to me, imagine that was big leagues. I think I was like 17, something like that.
Wow, man.
And yeah,
ain't it different? It's crazy,
and
man.
it's a completely different world now radio. Then, well, listen, back then I still remember. I think it was reel to reel. Vox Pro didn't exist.
You were still cutting tape.
Yep.
Quarter inch, right?
Yeah.
You were cutting quarter inch tape, and you would have to splice it together in the back room,
Yep.
and then bring it out really quickly to splice into the commercial. Like if you had a phone call, you would bring that call in, splice it, cut it, put it on air, rewind it, play it back, and hope nothing ever happened wrong.
One
of the greatest I ever saw do that was Bo Griffin.
Bo, oh man, we were just talking about that. Bo.
What's that? You guys are cutting out.
Bo, Tyrone and Bo.
One of the best, one of the best ones that I saw doing reel to reel edits, very quick, was Bo Griffin. Insane.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
You record the phone call,
And she was an
during
amazing
the commercial
woman.
break, you would go ahead, or during a song, you go ahead and make all your edits, try to tighten it up, and then, like you said, hope it doesn't screw up on the air.
She was an amazing woman.
Absolutely.
Man.
She's rest in peace, and she was one of the best of Miami, and still to this day. That show, and then that it went over to Ty Laz and Bo and just gave
Ty Laz and Bo.
Laz the morning opportunity, which that was amazing and still around. You know,
Yeah.
Jesse says,
been a long time, guys.
Jesse says, and what up to Jesse, man? Avid listener, listens to all the podcasts. So thank you, Jesse, for
What's
that.
up, Jesse?
DJ Joker, DJ Joker. Jesse Lopez, if you guys don't follow him, make sure you do. Great guy, really talented. Always listening to the show, giving, his feedback on everything. And as we're getting our feet wet in this, we love the feedback. We love to hear what you guys want, because this isn't for me. This is for you. This is for the listeners. We're bringing back Request Live. We're bringing back what people really want to hear.
I love it.
We got something brewing up, something
All right.
big brewing
Cool.
up. So I'll
Let's
let
do
you
it.
guys know at the end. All right. So he says, back then the music was great. Today, gaga.
I think it's different.
It's poop emojis.
I know. My opinion, I think it's different. Back then, we hated our parents' music for the most part.
But listen, you got to say there's some songs still today that have the new flavor that you like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the majority is not like that, though.
I mean, me personally, today's hip hop, I'm not a fan.
That's a common thing we talk about on the show. That's a very common thing. And when I have conversations with hip hop artists, they feel the opposite.
And
They feel
they're
the
artists.
opposite.
It's their art. You can't. Everybody has their art.
crazy.
I've
They're
learned not
saying-
to critique it.
They say it's different. You got to respect it. They're making money off of it. People are listening to it, because if not, it wouldn't be on the radio. It wouldn't make it to
100%.
where it's at. But then again, Paola's still around.
I have no idea what you're talking about, my friend. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There goes a knife.
Yeah, so, how does one comment on that one?
Not a fan of today's rap. It's crap. That's what he says. All right, so let's keep this thing going. All right, here we go. Let's talk about.
You know what's a good one?
What?
About genres? Who would have thought reggaeton would be worldwide pop right now?
It's funny because I think it's a crossover of reggaeton. I think it's got a little pop element into it, which is why.
But it's evolved into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Look,
But
Daddy
who would have thought
Yankee, Tengo Calderón, they pioneered reggaeton what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they've really paved the way for what reggaeton is. Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
back when they were Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
that was the music
Yeah, a lot
that
of them.
moved reggaeton movement. You know what I mean? And it was definitely different.
Yep.
And even then, some people didn't expect it. Like some people didn't even respect it. But it was very popular in almost all the ranges of age
Yeah. When it was hot,
when it was hot.
then it died out.
And then it died out. I think Don Omar had a good hand in that one.
Which today, Don Omar is finally free from a label contract. by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was so many issues in the back, and it became hip hop in Spanish, basically. You know what I mean? Like there was so much drama.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And now it's one of those things that it's evolved. It's evolved. It's kind of
It's
like
evolved,
how
and
everything.
I
is
applaud
evolving.
it because to
Yeah.
get worldwide with something that tons of people said it's dead,
Yeah.
and it's not coming back. You
There's
gotta give it credit.
There's still a strong amount of haters.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what?
tons.
If you
I'm
think that,
sure.
then imagine disco coming back.
I see it happening though. I see it happening.
Yo,
New disco.
I thought so badly that Bruno Mars was gonna bring funk back.
I was hoping.
I was praying, bro.
Yeah.
Like funk.
I agree.
Can you imagine if we brought like the new age technology to funk? How amazing it might be.
sounds. You're right. You're absolutely. I've never thought about that, but you're right.
Joe, make it happen,
Yeah.
Joe. Make it happen.
I'll make some calls. I'll let you guys know. I'll dive in that world.
Sandy, make sure we get his resume too. Okay, we need him as an intern.
All right, I'll shoot it over.
All right, so let's get this thing popping. What's it like working in the radio industry, man?
I love it. It's my passion since I was a kid. It's great because look, you could give it. Radio is theater of the mind at the end of the day. So whatever you want to create to that listener, you could and that's what I love about it. You could paint a picture how you want to paint it. If you want to do a character, if you want to do whatever you want, it's still that innocence, and it's the live factor that I love.
Right.
That's morning shows are going live
Do you think that it's falling behind though?
compared to everything else like TV
Streaming,
and
XM.
I think
Sirius.
it's getting, look, specifically right now in the days we're living today of coronavirus, COVID-19, Yes, it's falling behind because radio always will survive because of cars and radios in cars.
But they're now putting internet in the cars. They're now, almost all cars come with XM,
Correct.
Sirius.
Correct. But a lot of people still go back to radio. The radio, the ratings are there. The people are there listening to radio.
Okay.
They are listening to podcasts
Do
as
you
well.
think
100%.
radio could evolve?
It's evolving into a mix of radio social is what we're seeing in all across all formats, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know if Joe feels the same.
How, do you feel it different in the Spanish market versus the English market?
I think they're both the same. The radio industry has evolved into a 360 industry. You're doing concerts, they're doing ad sales on social and on air. In some instances, a lot of the companies on TV as well, so they got that full 360.
Right.
So
It's interesting. It's an interesting.
it evolves. Radio has evolved, just like the music industry evolved when iTunes and Napster started.
Do you think anything would change the fate of radio?
COVID could change it if they keep people away from the streets, not driving. It's gonna affect radio because people aren't driving. That's where you got your main listenership from.
How do you feel about it, Joe?
Well, I agree 100% with what he just said because, radio listeners are in the car. It was the commute going to work, the commute coming home, and that is lost currently. Mm-hmm. So how many people at home are turning on their radio? I don't know. Maybe it's background noise, but I imagine a lot of people are going to their Apple Music, they're going to their Spotify, things like that. So that's where radio is being challenged right now.
Even though the Alexas of the world are people are going back. There was as soon as people COVID happened and they got quarantined, Alexa and Euphoria app, iHeart app, TuneIn app, they
100.
all went up.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
all
yeah.
went up.
Yeah.
And people listening to radio shows to their morning shows through the app. So
I think
mix.
that's where the switch in radio is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the fate of radio, to be honest with you. I think the FM waves are going to eventually dwindle. I think they're going to become the new AM, and I think that internet radio, the ability to be able to have so much more on your dial now, I think that's going to change. I think also the clarity, the definition, the high fidelity that you can get out of because you can pretty much get FLAC out of internet radio.
So what are you saying, that the terrestrial radio station, the transmitter may go away, but it'll all be internet based?
I think it won't go away per se. It's kind of like it'll be like AM. It's just one of those old things that you just don't listen to much unless you needed to hear something very specific.
I mean, there's a lot of people that still listen to and that. I'm believe it or not, right now the ratings are crazy and AM stations are number one.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
why?
Insane.
Why do you
I
think?
think it's
because of the rating system.
I think it's the sports.
And I think it's the talk formats. People are tuning in to listening to these talk shows about COVID and what's going on politically and things like that.
100%.
So I think that's a big reason why the ratings are shooting.
It's a terrestrial thing that, it takes people back. It gives the nostalgia. I think that's one of those things that it's never going to die. Don't get me wrong. I don't think FM radio or AM radio will go anywhere anytime soon. Right. But I think that the new wave inside your car and, on your phone and, in your tablet and everything else that may present itself in the future, I have a strong feeling that the wave would be that. Now, that's just an opinion. I would love to hear from our listeners as to what they think.
Absolutely.
Jesse says, and first of all, let me correct something. El General was the pioneer of reggaeton.
He was.
But the one who brought it mainstream, I would say, would be Daddy Yankee.
So
I would think that he's the one who really kind of toppled over to the FM and really bringing it over to the States and everything else.
He crossed over with Gasolina and put it on the map.
I think that's what made that popularity in the art form of what it is. I mean, we can go back in house and there was a group that originated house music, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Or electronic music. It's a black group. I can't remember the name of it right now. They're out of Baltimore. it's slipping my mind. Sometimes it
trying to-
happens to me.
I'm-
Anyways,
All right.
but nobody, remembers that. You know what I mean? But what they do remember is the Tiestos. You know what I mean? Like the people who kind of like brought it into the mainstream, form. You get what I'm saying?
Made it pop.
It made it mainstream. They're the ones who made it mainstream. So Jesse, agree with you 100%. If you don't agree with me, cool. Give me that feedback, and I would be love to say it on the air. Michael says, I totally agree. I only listen to the radio when I'm driving. That's from Michael Phil. He listening out of Michael. Where are you out of, man? Tell me where you're out of. What up to Crizzo? Crizzo, an artist, up and coming artist. Make sure you guys listen to him. Check him out. He's doing some really, really cool things. He's on Spotify. I believe he's also on a bunch of different shows. We got to get him into the show one day. He's doing some big things with Fat Joe and their team. So big shout out to you, Crizzo. Keep doing what you're doing. It says it's like real estate. Online real estate is a thing. It's booming, but traditional real estate is still going to be an option. It's a great analogy.
I mean,
Yeah.
the way I see it is, look, when we were kids, if we had, I started on pirate radio, by the way.
We all
If
did.
I had the chance, if I had the chance to be on pirate radio or transmit from my house,
You would.
I would have.
Why?
Because it was fun. It was that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted for people to
But you
hear
love
what I
radio.
was doing.
But you love radio.
But I love radio.
This is why it's
But-
hard for me to go back into the station too.
Okay.
And the reason is you're limited to your creativity. I believe. I believe.
Yeah,
your
in today's
creativity
day
is
and
limited.
age, yeah, today's.
believe
I mean,
you're
it's
limited in your creativity.
completely- And I've seen.
You
If you see one thing good from COVID, you see the creativity explode between everyone, which is that's a good.
you have your
positive.
good producers.
Yeah.
And you have your rough ones. You
Always.
know.
So Eddie, how do you think you would be limited?
I believe that the producer and the directors, and even in the music sense of DJing on air, you're limited to the crate that they give you. You have to play what they give you. And it's a same rotation over and over again, whereas back in the day, it was totally request. You know what I mean? You could break a new record on the radio, and I don't think that's
Right.
that's fair that one person or a collective little small group of
Okay,
people
but was it
get that
really total
information.
request back in the day?
There was a big and I get where you're going with it, but there was that option though where you broke a record in the club, and the person sitting at the table was like, hey, we need to listen to this track because it's gaining some popularity here. We need to pay attention to this.
All right.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's more like it's almost a one-way street, and
Sure.
it happened I think in the 2000s. I want to say that's where the shift started happening. Commercial radio became more, I guess, corporate. Yeah, I was gonna say black tie, but it's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. You sometimes need these enforcements so things don't go too far and offend people, and you ruin a station or you ruin something that is initially beautiful. But I think that they need to. I think they need that creative freedom. I think that the shows need to have a little bit more spice to them. I think that's what's missing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that they need to listen to the people, just like kind of like our government. They just need to listen to the people. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
just let the people have a voice. And I think that you'll see, like, on a lot of big podcasts, like Joe Rogan, the guy's making $100 million. What broadcaster do you know making $100 million? You know what I mean?
Well, that was another point I was going to say when it comes to radio. Radio really isn't investing in talent.
Yeah.
If you look at
Not.
Spotify, they got Joe Rogan and Michelle Obama. Like they're bringing
Conan.
big names.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien.
Established
you have-
social medias.
Yeah.
That's what they're bringing in.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem. And Joe, you have a massive point, man. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of these shows on radio, it's syndicated. So you have the same show that's going from market to market. You don't have a lot of local radio station, a lot of local talent anymore.
There's no community feel in there.
Yeah, there's no right. Like I can only talk about like when I was at Power 96. Like our main focus was to super serve our community. We talked about Miami and the surrounding area, and that was really it. Like the world, if there was a big story, we talk about it, what was going on nationally, but we focused on Miami and the surrounding area. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think a lot of radio stations are doing that.
And there is, I think that the shift is gonna come in. I think it's gonna go back to a very hyper local community thing.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna make the citizens and the listeners connect with that station again.
Absolutely.
We're doing it at 98.3. It's like the morning show is us. I think Power is doing it as well with Zog and Lucy.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a spread out, whatever it may be. I mean, I don't know, but I think it's gonna be very community based. Once we went way too national, like radio stations went way too national, is when you started seeing the shifts in numbers as well.
Yeah.
Right.
There's certain things about Miami that we can all say has its ratchetness, and
all over.
I think that I think that radio needs to bring back some positivity, man. Honestly,
All right.
I think radio's become like the news. Like they're finding any which way to like spice it up by giving the violence or what's going on and like whatever, you know what I mean? Which is fine, you know what I mean? And we all need to hear what's going on, but they harp on it. And they don't bring back the fun factor in radio. You know how when you used to like come home from school or you would be driving home from work or whatever, and you couldn't wait to hear that mix show, or you couldn't wait to hear that morning show because it made you laugh. You had a good time. You felt an interaction, and when you called and you finally got through, you spoke to a celebrity. Like it, you got that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have that anymore. It's missing.
Okay. But did it evolve? That same feeling, because I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, man, okay, what happened to that? That exactly that you put into words. What happened to that? What happened to that?
I gotta put that in the audio
now
book.
that new cool DJ, that new cool morning guy, is the social media influencer.
Go to
it
LA.
Evolved.
Go to LA and it's different. It's different.
Okay.
It's different. They've got that
With-
spice in LA. They got that spice in LA. I mean, you go listen to like Chris Villa on the radio, Power 106.
Power 106.
Power 106. Yeah.
Yo, they're
He's a bad.
phenomenal station. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y100's a phenomenal station, but why aren't they releasing the beast of DJs that they have in there? You get me? Like, because the rotation of music is the same. So any good DJ, any powerful DJ going on, their creativity is very limited.
I'm
Very
not going to
limited.
disagree with you. That creativity gets limited when you got a mix.
It's
100%.
limited.
Are you talking about like in a mix or actually
Yeah,
like
like in a
the
mix.
day parts?
Across the board, you know what I mean? When you were listening to a morning show, they had that segment where the DJ would go on and, boost you up and get your day going, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Fire
Right.
you up, you know what I mean? Like, even if you got into work and you were in work, you lowly, you'd put that thing low and you'd listen to it because, it got you in your groove.
Yeah.
It got you going.
No.
So
Listen, I used to drive into the radio station, and if Zog was mixing or whatever, I would sit in my car and wait for the mix to be over and be late to work. But that was just that was it.
Zog's still on the radio. Zog
Yeah.
still mixes, but
Right.
the spark is missing. The spark, and he's a phenomenal DJ. Zog and I are, good friends.
So you're saying
Right.
it gets monotonous.
100%. 100%.
It's understood 100%. You are listen. I understand why it does happen, because you have a format and you gotta stay on the format. You got your list of songs, etc.
Yeah.
Is it challenging for creativity? Yeah. Now that's the thing. I think it might push you a little bit harder to get to that creative level to try to stand out.
Yeah.
But it is very hard. I ain't gonna lie. It's a wall that no DJ likes.
Here we go.
Right.
Jose Rodriguez, what's up to you, brother? He's agreeing
up?
100%. He says, defund the media.
Wow.
Jesse says, perfect example is Hot 97 and The Breakfast Club. They love the drama. Now, look, DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, all these guys, I can't knock them. They're the number one hip hop station.
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing is working, I guess, in, mind you, radio and the corporate world has changed the name of urban radio. Whatever. Urban radio. I'm going to call it what it is. All right.
All right.
Urban. We're in podcast radio. Urban radio. Urban radio it's working in their in their favor. So why change something that's working, right? But the one thing I dislike about the show is the racial factor in it. That's the one thing I wish they would take out of the show. You know what I mean? It's a good thing to have as far as awareness, but it's a bad thing when they start slandering other races because they think it's okay. You know what I mean? Because they have that right, and that's the problem that I have with that.
But I think it's happening nationwide at this point, not only on Charlemagne the God.
But why? Because it gets ratings.
It's a narrative at some
You know
point.
what I mean?
At some point, it becomes a
But I
narrative.
could put a video right now of a bunch of violent stuff or something, something horrible happening, and you're gonna watch it.
It's clickbait.
But
They
it
want
doesn't-
views.
Exactly, but it doesn't mean that it's good. You get what I'm saying?
I'm 100% with you.
Doesn't have that good.
100%,
Doesn't have that
yeah.
feel good, and we don't have feel good radio, and
don't.
that's what's missing. I think that's
I
what's
mean,
missing.
I think we got feel good radio with my morning show. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, I listen to your
We're
radio
a
show.
happy, positive
Listen,
show.
I listen to
my
your show.
co-hosts are the main hosts. Santi Laurita are
Yeah.
a married couple. Christian, I'm the bad boy on this.
I love your
And,
show. I've
thank you,
listened
man.
to your
Appreciate
show.
it.
This is why we have
Yeah.
you on our show. You know what I mean? But
We try to be positive, but yes,
Exactly.
we do have
You get
headlines.
what I'm saying.
And I gotta,
of course, you gotta
be
jump
Chad.
in. But I think that the thing is that if you had creativity with the show, it would be different. Am I right or wrong?
I mean, I do have. Listen, I will say honestly, 100%, the best morning show family that I've worked with is this one that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
It's a team from what do they call
And
it?
I'm
The
not talking
past
about you,
millennial
I'm talking
Gen
about
Z.
the corporate end of it.
Well, corporate end, yeah, of course. If
You
I
see
didn't
what
have a
I'm
list, listen, I go off the list as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I try to push the limits,
Right.
but at some point, my boss is going to come in and say, hey,
you can't do
what
that.
are you doing?
Now, what happens-
But they
what if-
haven't yet. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to my bosses. They haven't stopped me yet.
What if you were to actually have, if the corporate world were to give you a little leeway, do you think the ratings would go up?
Man, the ratings are such a crazy game in radio, so I don't know what to tell you. The thing that you would least expect to raise ratings would.
Okay. All right, cool. It is what it is. That's
Radio
you're in
ratings
it.
are very data,
You're
man.
in it,
Are very data
100% in it.
Yeah.
So we gotta, I gotta respect that. 100%. Like, you're in it. You see it every single day. I get a little taste from the outside.
The way you gotta see it, it's a business. How long, on average, do you think people listen in their car to radio?
I would say maybe their commute 30 minutes, an hour. You know what I mean?
On average, now it's what, 11?
If they're on a
15?
long drive, maybe, a couple hours, and then they'll throw on their Spotify to hear their favorite playlist because their songs are not being played in rotation.
Gotcha. Commercials come, they switch over.
Yeah.
But
commercials gotten really long too. I'm sorry.
What's the time? What's the time now with COVID? People aren't making their normal commute.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's gotta. I know it took a hit because I talked to Oliver.
Yeah.
And I talked to a couple other guys that I know in the industry, and I know it took a big hit, and that's why they were starting to broadcast from home, and they were turning on their Instagram to kind of let everybody know, hey, we're still on the air.
Yeah.
Please listen to us. And that could have really drowned radio really quickly, which is really interesting times, man. Entertainment has taken a
The whole industry,
massive
yeah, the whole industry.
nosedive.
Absolutely.
The only guy kicking butt in this industry right now is Joe Cruz.
'Cause he always kicks butt.
Well, yeah, sure. Actually, my work has gone down because, like I told you, I do be in sports, which is soccer, and soccer wasn't being played. All those sporting events were kind of put on the back burner. So my workload actually went down.
Went down a little.
Oh, Jose says Howard Stern style. Ooh, see, that was a great show, man. Great show. Howard Stern was great.
Howard
But
Stern's,
it got
great.
repetitive. It did get repetitive. Again, I think sometimes you need a little
Have
switch.
you heard
up.
him on Sirius XM?
Yeah.
Completely
It's
different.
it's got its elements though.
It's got its radio
it's got
elements.
it's got
You're still gonna have a radio show,
Yeah.
but it's a lot.
Yeah,
He
his
does
voice is
whatever he
iconic,
wants.
so too.
Yeah.
It's so iconic.
The
Love it.
compressor, everything,
Yeah,
the gate,
man.
everything's.
Yo, his Avalon is pumped.
Oh yeah, you can hear the suction in the room.
Yeah,
when
man,
he
it's
talks,
insane.
for sure. So much compression.
Beautiful though.
That guy's a great interviewer.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's
That guy
phenomenal.
is. If you, I used to, so I had to do a road trip, 7 months on the road for Dr. Pepper when I got a DJ gig, and imagine this, it was a 18-wheeler trailer that expanded sideways.
Oh, okay. So like an RV, like when it pops out, like a pop-out
But an
camper.
18-wheeler, like 18-wheeler expanded sideways, and then inside would be a full nightclub.
What?
100%. This is called Dr. Pepper's Club 23. So I got,
Dope.
actually, Ralph knows about this because his wife worked for the company that
Sosa,
that hired
give us some
me.
info. Give us some info, Sosa.
So man, I was doing this tour 7 months on the road. I'm trying to remember why we got to this. And why the hell did we get this? Either way, man. Why did we get this? But either way, dude, so I did a whole 7 month tour. Oh, because of Howard Stern. So I do a whole 7 month
Kids,
tour, and I
don't
started
do
listening
drugs,
to
kids.
serious.
Don't
Hey,
do
listen, I will tell you, I am a patient, bro. I am a medicinal patient, and I got into the business. If you're looking, 100%. If you're looking for money, don't go into radio.
Holy smokes. Plug.
Visit any Holy Smoke smoke shop if you're a medicinal patient.
So basically what's
Or even
happening,
if you're not, I really don't
ladies
know.
and gentlemen, what's happening is the medicinal is running out. So when we take our break, he'll come back fully normal.
So I was exactly. So I was getting at, I was on that 7 month road trip, and I started listening to Howard Stern because I wasn't gonna go switching radio stations the entire time because it was crazy. That guy interviewing, when you actually listen to how he gets info out of this, whoever he's interviewing, is insanity.
It's awesome. Like he probes like a
Yes.
like a psychologist.
If you're a radio guy, you're an interviewer, and you listen to this guy, exactly, it's a therapy. He
Yeah.
just lets him go.
Yeah.
How he does it, it's I've tried it.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's supposed to
How
be
would
80-20 from my understanding. I've read some of his dialogue of how to properly introduce. It's just so different nowadays, man. It like when you get somebody on the show, like you guys are really easy, but sometimes you get somebody on the show and you have to like slowly, and you only got so much time.
Yeah.
Howard Stern had a really long series.
Always.
He had
Always.
a
And now
really
Sirius
great
XM,
show.
since he has no time limit.
Yeah, he's just
throw a break whenever he wants.
exactly. Joe, you going from radio into VO, what were some of the changes, or was it hard to cross over? And for those of you listening, I'm just going to give them a brief introduction to what VO is, just so that they understand. It's the voiceover guy. So, Joe, we're going to play a little snippet. Is that cool with you? We're going to play a little snippet so that everybody can hear what Joe sounds like. Sandy, we ready? All right, let's do this.
Still under quarantine?
I'm Capaldi to play their hits on over 2,000 devices.
Just say Alexa, play 92.1. The Beats. Listen. Like.
Z105's Friday
And Win is about to kick off.
We're taking quarantine and chill.
Click the follow button on our IG or Facebook. Follow me and stay in the know. KC103. Once you get hooked up, and find out all about our secret shows before anyone else, join the live fam and get the plug at live967.com.
What's up, y'all? This is Post Malone. Yo, it's Billie Eilish.
This is The Weekend. All on your party station. 92.1. The Beef. Streaming live in your home and all your smart devices. Just say, Alexa, play the Beat 95.5.
Okay.
By the way, it's the Mix 95 lunch break. We want you to take us home. Not like that. Yikes. Enable the Beat 96.3 skill on your Alexa device now. Right now. By saying, Alexa, enable Beat 96.3.
Now enabling Beat 96.3.
We're back. Wow. You see
Your
what I'm
voice
talking
is
about?
all over, man.
Yo, his voice is phenomenal.
all over.
I love it.
All over the country. All over. Damn.
He's everywhere. And
Icon.
and we got to thank that to the Mix Group, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Mixed Group fam, they produce all that stuff and they make it sound amazing for stations across the globe, everywhere.
So Jesse asked,
out to
"Damn,
Jason.
does Joe make drops?" Wow,
I do.
there it is.
Nice.
Absolutely. And if you reach out, you can go to themixedgroup.com. And
Or you can call me. I want to. I want to make some. I want to make some money off of this.
I'll give you a little commission.
There you go.
go to themixedgroup.com and you can contact them through their contact page, and they'll get a hold of me.
There it is. As you guys know, Joe is he's the announcer for Pass the Mic Podcast. He is the voice of Pass the Mic Podcast. He's in the beginning, he's at the end, and we're doing some middle segments now where we have Fat Man Scoop. So, Fat Man Scoop and Joe, it's
perfect.
Fire emojis.
Love it.
Big shout out to Fat Man Scoop, man. He's got his own little thing going on Instagram. Nice. Great show, great thing to listen to. I love listening to all these little things popping up. I like watching all the celebrities, do their thing. So Joe, give us a little insight, man, of how was transitioning from radio to voiceover.
Okay, well, there's kind of two parts of what I do. When I was the voice of power, doing all the imaging for the station, that kind of groomed me to do it for stations, all the other stations across the globe. But when you want to do television, you learn a lot of bad habits in radio.
Yeah.
Radio, we tend to make our voices larger than they really naturally are and things like that. And a lot of bad habits. So when you do television work, they want a little more natural sounding type voiceover. So that was the hard part. It was getting rid of those bad habits. That was the biggest transition for me to do the TV stuff. Radio, I just drop the mic and rip it. I mean, it's really simple. TV is much more difficult.
Awesome, man. And what about equipment wise? Was there a big learning curve?
Not really, because I'm really using the same stuff. Actually, very similar stuff that we had in the radio station.
All right.
I got the mic preamp. It goes into, your ensemble, which goes right into Pro Tools, which is the audio software I use. So it was kind of simple. It's the same setup.
Awesome. So on Pass the Mic, we're going to be doing these tutorials, and one of the things that we're going to show people is how to start their own podcast.
Nice.
And how to do their own VO. As you know, I've been dabbling in it, trying.
Yep.
I built a studio booth in here, a sound booth basically, fully insulated. I got the Apollo Twin. We're running the Neve 1073. We also have
nice.
the Avalon processing. And I have about $10,000 in audio in here alone.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
So but there's an easier way. There's a less expensive way to get your foot in that door. And I want to thank Joe, Eddie, the entire Jam and Johnny, the entire team for really, passing the torch, man. Really, all it takes is somebody to take the time to say, hey, listen, these are some of the things that you need to do. I think that I had a lot of experience from before, engineering, that was easier for me to have a conversation with them. But I can understand, like, if I was starting from the beginning, what I would need to learn to get my foot wet.
In my experience, I had no idea what to do. I was like, what do I do? What did I get myself into? I started asking the production guy at the station, hey, man, what do I get? I ended up buying a Behringer X18. All I'm using is 2 channels on the thing.
Right.
It's 18 channels, but it's perfect.
You know what I can
just
see
hooked
Nino
up,
doing?
done. You got a mic, and I'm good. And it sounds great because I have compressors and gates, but I had no idea.
Zero.
It took me easily 2 weeks to get that sounding perfect, bro. I'm not kidding.
For sure.
It's a different world.
Can you imagine Nino voiceovering for like Slim Jim? I could see it.
Step into
totally.
a Slim Jim.
Yo, I could see it.
So
He's got the raspiness of
smoker voice,
what's his name? Oh my God.
the Macho
Randy
Man.
Macho Man. There you go.
Macho Man,
Randy.
Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, brother. We're
Yeah.
gonna get it right now.
I used to DJ at a strip club
Listen to
too.
Slim Jim.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, I can see
it's
that
another
too.
passage of.
Can you imagine him
of my-
smoking his
my
cigarette
life.
on the side?
There you go.
Stephanie to the stage. Stephanie to the
That was
stage.
one of those, man. One of those times that it was like, man, I don't even remember what he.
Mercedes to the stage. That's right, fellas. Get those buckets out.
Oh, yeah, gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up for that sexy lady by the name
There
of
it is.
Lady Red stepping down off that main stage. Make sure you put a dot in that corner.
Go, man.
I
Look at
did
that.
that
That
for
was
years, man.
gold right there, bro. Sandy, can we run that back? Wow, that was gold. I'm gonna replay that one more
What
time.
am I
Get-
doing?
One
If
more
my
time.
bosses
Do-
are watching,
One
they're
more
gonna be like,
time.
"Oh, what
Hit
are
me
you
one more
doing?"
time. Hit me one more time. One more time. One more time.
Oh, yeah, gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up for that sexy lady by the name of Lady Red stepping down off that main stage. You want to go faster?
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Nino.
I'll
I haven't done that in a while. I used to work at
Nino.
a I don't even know if it's
You didn't put that in your bio, man.
Of course I'm not gonna put that in my bio.
Come on, bro.
I used to work at a.
I told
at
you,
a-
give me the spice. Well, I got it live. I
I'm
can't
not
complain.
sure. I'm not sure it still exists, but it's off of Okeechobee and it's called Stonewall.
Stonewall. Oh, okay. All right. I don't think that's still there.
Yeah, I have no idea, but yeah, that's where I used to DJ as a strip club DJ for a little bit too. It was cash money though. Worked. Good.
So Mark Gilman on YouTube. Mark, thank you for tuning into the radio station,
What's
man.
up,
To the podcast, excuse me. He says radio wins because it has curation.
Curation is important.
Yeah, I guess the
I mean,
pioneers of it, I guess, is.
but I think Spotify has curation too, and with a wider range. It just depends on what you want to listen. If you just want to listen to like the hits of the moment, I think you're gonna stick with radio.
Crizzo's giving you the applaud, man.
Oh. For the strip club DJ voice, I think I'm gonna go back to that, man. Forget radio.
That was epic. Sandy's over there smiling too. She's like, "Whoa!"
Hilarious.
It came out of left field too. Like he hit me. Like I was like, "Holy smokes!" That was really good.
I love the branding. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Smoke shops.
I know. I keep plugging it in. I keep plugging it in. All right, let's get into these last quick questions here. What's the most exhilarating part of your career?
Most exhilarating part of my career, what's missing, but I'm not missing it too much, but I am the connection with the community on the radio. That's the
kinda like
most
this?
yes, man. That's
Okay.
the most exhilarating part when you're talking about something and you're debating something with your co-host,
Yeah.
and they support you or they're against you and they tell you why. I love that. That's exhilarating. I think everybody should debate and people should talk to see different points of view.
Exactly. Last episode, Jesse went ham on one of the things that I was saying, and I got like at least 15, 20 calls disagreeing with me, but it
Good.
was great.
That's great.
It was great.
That's
you know
the
what I
only
mean?
way we're gonna figure
and
it out.
I love it. I love it because I learned so much about myself, and I learned so much about what listeners really want or their thoughts on things. You know what I mean? And it was great. It was phenomenal. It was our DJ episode, and now we have the radio episode. And
I
little
love
did
it.
I know I had a strip club but phenom
Man,
in
I've
here.
done it all, man. I've done it all. You have no idea. I used to be a busboy.
Joe, what about you, man? What about you? What's the exhilarating
And it's
part
great.
of your career?
Well, I mean,
Next group.
the coolest thing is, I work. I'm here alone all the time, so I get to work with people around the world. So meeting people in different countries and with different cultures, and it's pretty amazing. Even people in different states. Here in Florida, life is a little different than it is in Middle America.
Yeah.
So getting other people's perspective on life is really cool. And the most exciting thing for me is when I book a new gig. I'm sitting here popping bottles when I book a new gig.
Where are the bottles? I just gave you a new gig. Where are my bottles? Send.
You
send-
want bottles?
Send,
I'm a Scotch guy.
Send
So
the bottles. Oh, okay, so double casket. Are we talking about McLan's?
There you go, McAllen. There you
Yeah,
go.
McAllen.
There you
excuse
go.
me. Yeah.
I like it. Very nice.
All right.
Good whiskey, Joe.
Whiskey Joe. He's Scotch
Whiskey
Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
Whiskey
Scotch
Joe.
Joe.
Scotch Joe.
I do agree with Joe on this, man. Miami's a world on its own.
Yeah.
Miami's a world.
It's a melting
of
pot
its
of
own.
craziness.
Completely different and
I mean, where else
All
are you
over.
gonna see a lady holding onto an 18-wheeler, banging onto the?
only Miami.
Where-
It's perfect.
Where else are you gonna see hurricanes avoid Florida because our bars are closed?
Yeah, right?
Oh man! All right. My last big question, and I know that this is something that I pulled from the internet, and
All right.
I know Sandy. We talked about this a lot. For those that are going into the radio industry or in the VO industry, what are some of the things that you would be looking for? What are some of the things that you would say, hey, this is some of the things that I think that you need to come into. I think that you need to learn how to develop and do before you step in and put your information on a resume to submit to the radio station.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't do that. I went in there. I started.
You hustled.
I hustled.
Just like most of us.
Whichever way I could, get in there, learn, everything you can, especially nowadays.
Okay.
Learn social media in and out. Learn the programs, the software in and out. Learn everything in and out. If you know how to DJ, mix, awesome. Learn how to be an on-air talent. Learn how to be a producer. You always need producers in radio. If you really, really want to get into radio, say you want the producer position and you're going to get hired.
Okay, but what's it take to sit in front of them and say, hey, I want the producer position, and they look back at you and say, okay, what can you do as a producer?
I remember me when I met DJ Laz for the first time when I was working for this WJM Productions with Brain Wrangler. I met DJ Laz. I got his number. After that, I would not text him. I would call him because we didn't even have cell phones. I'm trying to remember. We had beepers. I would call him. Hey Laz, man, can I go watch you spin at the station for his 5-minute mix that he did at 8 o'clock? Come over. Back then I was known as Dino, DJ Dino. Come over, Dino. Boom. Went over there. I would just watch him mix as much as I could just to try to get in. Never got into power officially, but that's how I started learning everything about the industry.
So the producer,
try to get in.
What's the producer's position at the station?
Producer's position is basically he's creating the show. He's telling you what you're going to talk about, what's happening. It's the timing. He's listening to your show at the same time creating your show.
Right.
Okay. And it's got to be a creative mind.
Right.
Know your stuff, your ins and outs. I mean, you're not going to go in, right off the bat and produce the morning show, but you're going to start, getting into learning with the business of the position of producer, which is extremely important. And right now producers need to create the show, time the show, listen to the show, do social media, create graphics.
Yeah.
You have, it's everybody, I think, in radio needs to do all positions.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got to get Adobe Creative Cloud, and you got to learn every single program on it.
Yeah.
Because all those skills, especially at a radio station today with social media, everybody's doing video, everybody's, editing audio. You have to be a jack of all trades now, more than ever.
Yep.
I agree. 100%.
Awesome. There you go. Guys, listen, if you're looking to get your foot wet in radio, I have 2 guys that have done it, been there. I have one guy that's still in it, still rocking it.
Listen, I left, opened up my business, and somehow got called back.
And look at that.
All right? So
it's like the mafia. They pulled you back in.
Yeah. Hey, don't ever give up.
And can you imagine?
100%.
He was sitting in his shop just chilling, literally.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, holy smokes, the radio station just called.
Holy smokes. Smoke shop in West Pines, 184 in Pines Boulevard. But they're all over South Florida. Go Google it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. 184 Pines Boulevard. Make sure you check out my man, DJ Nino, at Holy Smokes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Holy Smokes Pines on Instagram.
That's great.
Joe, I'll see you there if you're a patient.
He says, who makes the decisions that choose the songs that are aired? Is the producer as well?
No. That because belongs to the PD, the program director, or the curator. Depends on what's, I guess, corporation you work at.
Yeah, I would say the program director has a bigger say in that, and they get their pull from a record pool.
Yeah, so, there's a log that's formulated daily, and that log is already.
And then they sit at a table and they kind of get a couple people from the station and they go over some things, but at the end he or she has the ultimate decision.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. So Nino, at the station, do you guys still have music meetings where you bring in the mixers and all the day parts, and you guys play songs and try to decide, with the PD, which songs are actually going to make it on there?
They do have music meetings. Right now with COVID, it's completely different.
Right.
Obviously, but there still is music meetings going on. It's data driven. To get a song on the air, it's a lot of data driven choices that they're doing call outs. Is this song is good? Is this song bad? It's research.
I know where Crizzo's coming from. He's an up and coming artist. He's pushing his market. He's doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
He's on Spotify. He's got some great numbers on Spotify. He's doing the best that he can, but it's not like it was back then. You know what I mean? And so he's trying to figure out, okay, what's the algorithm for the station? And Crizzo, what I could tell you, brother, is keep doing what you're doing. And eventually your algorithm will pop up on their radar, and that's all it takes.
Believe it or not,
it may have already, and you just didn't get chosen.
Yeah.
But just keep plugging away, because if they see it enough times, something's going to spark in somebody's head.
You got to have Spotify numbers, and if he has Spotify numbers, he's already on the right track.
Yeah.
Right now, they're looking at all social numbers.
Yeah.
All streaming numbers, everything.
Definitely do that, and image is always going to be a big thing. Image is always going to be a big thing. You may not even get your spark from your music. It could happen just like Little Ma, or Little Ma, right, Sandy? Yeah, Little Ma. You can get it just like her. And really just YouTube, something you said. Yeah. You know what I mean? Soldier Boy, same thing. It literally, you can get your spark anywhere. So just make sure everything's on point and you keep doing what you're doing, brother. I see what you're doing. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming.
Can I say can I bring a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pass the mic, bro. What do you guys think about this Tekashi 6ix9ine thing?
Oh, look at Sandy. Sandy, come on. You all right? You smacked your head.
Because
This is Tell me what you're feeling.
To me. It's
I'm
crazy.
just not a fan.
Ladies and gentlemen,
which is fine.
Definitely not a fan.
I'm not a fan either. I just can't believe this. Basically, he ratted out people, right?
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
He ratted out people, but then he used that as his marketing strategy.
Correct. And why do people support that?
Because people love the drama.
But you're ratting out people. I mean, and
wait,
when
hold
I
on.
grew up,
But exactly. When you grew up, it was different. When you grew up, you hated the guy who wore the yellow belt to stop you when you were running in the hallway, and there were the snitches back then, and snitches get stitches and all that good stuff. Things have changed, brother.
So
when we used to get bullied, it built character. Now you get bullied, and it's way different.
I see you. All right.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it's a whole complete mind
culture difference.
Now, who changed that? Was it education? Was it us?
Culture.
All right.
Culture. I mean, literally, it's a divided culture right now, big time, because there's
I just can't
people
believe
like us that feel the
rat
same way.
is-
Look, he tried to come at Snoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tried to rat him out and call him out and say he was a rat. And why do we respect Snoop and we're not him? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot behind Tekashi, and there's millions of interviews about him.
All right.
But what is it that you dislike? That's the question I'm gonna have for you.
What I dislike is the point that if you were street,
Right.
you were in a gang.
But he never claimed to be street.
As far as I
His
know,
music-
his whole marketing, his whole perception,
His music and marketing was.
and him,
His persona.
and his persona was all.
he would
I'm
go
in
on.
a gang. I don't know. Did he? I don't know too much of the details.
He would go on,
All right.
and he would claim the gang, but he said, "I'm not part of the gang." Right? He would claim it, but he was not part of it. Now, if anybody else has any information, please.
Okay, so he's
fill in.
In our days, that was a poser.
110%.
So we're the culture is glorifying a poser.
They're glorifying a Milli Vanilli.
Gotcha. Yeah. Not a Milli Vanilli. Look, I think the beats that first song that came out after he
Which one?
was released.
The one with
the Gooba, maybe I think it's called.
Okay. That
Is that
one
what it's called?
I don't like Gooba. I like.
I think the beat
my
is
favorite
hard.
one is the one that he does with
the beat is dope.
Nicki Minaj. That's my favorite one. I think that's my favorite one because the way he sings in it, his hook is good. I like the hook in it. Other than that, his rapping style or whatever you want to call it, the screaming into the mic and like the words just not flowing correctly, I don't like that style of music. And it doesn't just pertain to him, it pertains to the entire quote unquote trap industry, which I'm never going to really call it trap. But again, so your biggest problem with him is that he's a poser, snitched on somebody, and we're still accepting
that's
him.
apparently from what I'm understanding of this information I'm getting. Now, my question is, what would a conversation between DMX and Tekashi 6ix9ine look like?
There wouldn't be a conversation. It would be, yo, you're going to get the dog, boom, and that's it. Done. You know what I mean?
For real.
It would be, it would be done because
Out.
DMX is not a poser by
At
any
all,
means
exactly.
whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
he's as real as it comes.
So it's like it, and for I mean, it was DMX Street. It was it.
Right.
Then to see this, and I'm like, man, but you're trying to, because it conflicts. You're trying to be hard here, but you rat it out in court.
Listen, I guess.
How are you hard here? How are you?
I
How are
guess we'll
people
never
believing
know.
that you're hard here when you rat it out in court?
Bro, I don't. At this point, I don't think people find him to be hardcore or anything like that. I mean, how many times has his house been raided now? Right?
I haven't
You
kept
get what
up.
I'm saying?
Once I saw that it was actually working,
Sandy
I'm like,
can
bro,
fill
this
us
is
in.
insane.
Sandy's the director of the Crazy, so she's got an info on
How
the
is
Crazy.
this, Sandy?
How is it that Tekashi has gotten raided in his house?
Because-
She's younger than us, by the way, so she's
because
got
of-
that info, that insight.
I mean, as far as what I know, it's because of issues with him and his baby mama and
Oh.
etc. And him also ratting out other people in the industry. So that's how he's gotten like robbed. As far as my understanding is.
Wow.
And he's also a clout chaser.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much why he moves away.
What's
that he
clout?
does. Clout.
Yeah, tell
It's
everybody what
Clout is
clout
like
is.
your
Popularity.
coolness.
You know, gaining like being able to trend. You know, being
Mm,
popular.
okay. All right, so hold on,
Your
hold on.
coolness. Your,
That's not the definition of clout. The definition of clout is basically this is a street definition of clout. When you clout is you're looking for ways to get yourself on social media by picking on or using something to get gain on social media. Meaning,
Gotcha.
like if I go on Snoop Dogg's site right now and I start talking smack and people start following me, I did it for the
yeah,
clout.
you're trolling people for clout.
100. The clout is almost the same thing as trolling. Almost the same exact thing. Now everybody has their definition of what street slang is, but that's probably the best definition I could probably give on clout because that's the thing that he's doing. He's literally clout chasing 100%. He's trolling, and it works.
It does.
You
Hey,
know what I
look,
mean?
he's making money. Good
Look-
for him. I just don't. I think when we were.
But that's the thing. We keep saying, "Oh, they keep making money. Good for them. It's working. Good for them." But is it really?
You can't hate on that either, though.
I'm not hating on it.
I'm like me personally. I
I'm
tell
not
myself I
hating
can't
on
hate
it,
on that
but
because.
but my thing is that like why what general good did it do me? You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
It didn't do me any good, and I don't. The thing is that I'm trying to change that. You know what I mean? Like I know that you can get the same satisfaction in other things, and I think we just lost our way.
yeah.
I think
you're right.
I think
We did lose
the
our way.
media has kind of like social media and bringing all that stuff to light it's kind of made us lose our way, and that's what I'm trying to bring back into and it's working. You know what I mean? Like people miss it. People miss that spark, and
I agree.
And I haven't found it 100%. This is why I keep bringing on people like you guys to help me find it. But I think that's what it.
I love what you're doing, man. I love what you're doing. Keep it up. I watched some of the podcasts, and I love them. I haven't watched them all.
Yeah,
One day I'll
yeah.
binge it. But
I'm the new Netflix.
but yeah.
Hey,
and
you
I
want to
think it's
podcast and
great.
chill?
Hey, come on, come over. We're gonna
Yeah, I got the holy smokes.
Holy smokes.
Holy Smokes Smoke Shop. Follow Holy Smokes Pines on Instagram.
Hey, Joe, can we get him a commercial for his holy smokes?
Absolutely.
That would
Can
be
I get a
so
gift
good.
basket?
Of course,
Can I
man.
get a gift basket?
Listen, Joe, go to pass by my store whenever you want, man. Hit me
Oh,
up
man.
Bro,
and
I
Look
am
at
there.
Look at this Hialeah connection happening right now.
I knew you would go by my store.
Oh yeah, I said it. Can you hook me up, please? Yes, I got you.
I love it.
We
Love
call it
love
the
love
gift basket.
Hey, man, that's one thing. Radio still to this day is my passion, but it's not where the money's at. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, Crizzo's in the hip hop industry right now, so he's got a little insight here. It says he's 6'9", considers himself a troll, but so does 50 Cent. If you put them in together, does that make them 69 50 cents?
Hey,
All right. So look, the difference between 50 and Tekashi. Let's break this down. Nino, I'm sure you can nail it on the head.
I still don't. I mean, I still have respect for 50.
Why?
I still see him as street. I don't think he I refresh me on how he snitched.
So is it a fab to be street?
It's not a fab to be street, but this is what
It's
you're
a
pushing.
code of ethic.
This is what you're pushing.
It's a code
This
of
is
ethic,
basically what I'm pushing is be real,
right?
be yourself.
Of course.
So
But
obviously Tekashi's not being himself.
But that's 50. Like, I don't think 50 changes that. Like,
I think 50's 50. How I
50's
see him on
we got to meet
wherever.
him. You know, lucky for us, we got to sit down and meet him. We did the show for the Clevelander,
All right.
the Pepsi Splash. This is the other side of my business, and
Awesome.
and basically,
And that's-
the guy is 50's 50.
Yeah.
There's no way.
50.
And what you see on TV and pictures, that's what he looks like, 100%.
And how was he himself talking? It's him.
It was a very short little piece of him, and it was in a good mood. I can only imagine a bad mood.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I respect 50. I got no issue
Now,
with 50.
if I see Tekashi, I feel like you know, but I also grew up somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, and I know, you know, the street as far as what it is.
Where'd you
Have
grow
I
up?
changed my perception? We'll leave
All right.
that off air.
Okay.
You know, when I see somebody like Tekashi, and from the beginning, when, you know, kids were requesting him in elementary schools, okay, to play his music.
Wow.
It opened my eyes to, oh, holy crap, what's our music and what's our youth coming to?
Yeah.
It freaked me out. Like, when I saw kids screaming out the lyrics, and I'm talking about every word, it blew my mind. We're talking about, like, the school would tell me, no, just play the clean version, you're fine. Okay? So I'm playing the clean version. There's barely any song to this at this point. And, you know, he's going off. And I hear, you know, I hear every kid screaming every lyric.
All right.
And we're talking about not middle schoolers. We're talking about elementary schoolers.
And okay, were they
Like
shaking?
fourth-
Were they twerking
third,
or whatever? it
third,
may,
fourth, and fifth grade.
they
No,
call it now.
No, because, you know, kids don't dance like that. The girls will dance on their own, and they'll do like you could tell which girls are dancers. You know what I mean? Because like you see them doing like all the really cool moves, and they'll do like their little version of twerking. And then the boys, you know, they're just trying to be cool. You know what I mean? And some of them actually dance with girls very, very seldomly.
All right.
But it's the ones that are a little bit more open. It's not like it was when we were in middle school and when we were in school.
Why?
You would, you know, like Two Life Crew would come on and you were like,
Okay,
yes,
but that's
thank
what
you,
I'm
DJ,
saying.
you saved my life. You
But
know what I
what's
mean?
okay? But so what's the difference between us growing up listening to Two Life Crew and booty dancing to them listening to whatever
media,
it may be?
social media and fear, man. Honestly, think about it. When we were kids growing up, we were outside and we made our own games, we made our own groups, and we had our own cliques,
Okay.
and we were more sociable. But social media, now you hide behind a screen, and most of the kids will have their phones out when they're dancing. You know, like if a guy dances with a girl, you'll see a group of them, you know, videotaping it because they want to play it back and talk about it and put it on their social media platforms.
Okay.
Right? So that's their fun now. Whereas when you did that, you kept it to yourself, and afterwards you met up with the boys, you guys talked about it, and then the girls were in their group, and then, you know, eventually you would pass each other in the hallway and people would laugh, and then, you know, it became passing notes, but it wasn't the main thing.
My only issue with that is that now we're basically telling people don't have your fun so you don't get videotaped.
It's not that
And
you
I don't
don't
like
get
that.
videotaped, is that your every second is like, okay, is this going to be the one that ruins me?
Listen, cancel culture as a whole should end. This is ridiculous.
Yo, that word that you just said right
This is
there,
ridiculous.
that's a big one. That's one that
Cancel
I want
culture.
to tackle big time. The cancel
crazy.
culture is insane right now.
On either end, it's ridiculous.
He said if 69 wanted to be on Pass the Mic podcast to be interviewed by NINO, would you make the interview happen, or how would you respond to the decline?
I would.
Listen,
I would interview.
There's no doubt in my mind that any person would not interview 69.
Yeah.
The difference is, would he allow me to have the questions that I want to have?
Exactly. Are you gonna get mad
Right.
for me telling you, okay, man, look, and what your persona is, this is called being a rat. Do you have a problem being called a rat, and are you okay with it? That's
and I
it.
know that
just be real.
he's
It's a
one of those
conversation.
people that have said it. You know,
Yeah.
like people he went on Instagram Live as soon as he got released, and he told people, "Oh, y'all calling me a rat and this and that, but this and that and that and this." And he made some really big, valid points, and he talks a lot about the industry, and he says some
Listen, he's
real stuff, like real deal things.
He does. I ain't gonna lie. He's listen. He's ratted out a lot more outside of court than inside of court.
And he's not stupid.
Yeah.
He's a smart, intelligent kid. You know what I mean? but I think he's over his head in this thing. I think that if he makes one wrong move, a reel like a DMX, you know what I mean, is going to end his career.
Thinking it's be hiding forever or no?
Sandy?
Well, you think he'll hide forever?
No.
No, he'll come out.
I mean, he's making rat merchandise. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has no problem.
He's engulfed himself in being a rat.
No, he's making money. 100%.
Even his videos are with rats.
Granted, yeah.
He's like, he's embraced it and monetized it. And he's let people accept it.
That's why I said he used it as his marketing strategy.
Yo, that's genius.
It is.
It's genius.
I'm not taking away. I can't hate on him. I just can't believe that people are cool with this now.
Yeah.
That's my. But listen, we're living in a different world.
Joe, do you have your YouTube on? Is there
No.
any way can you turn on your YouTube, because we're gonna go into this or that segment, and in order for you to be able to see it, you need to have your YouTube open. So I want you to be able to at least see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is called This or That. It is the This or That segment. It's kind of like our little intermission where we have a little bit of fun and we interact with you guys listening to us on the air. So while you guys are sitting back listening, please type in your answers in the chat line. If you're on YouTube, make sure you guys do that. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, make sure you do that as well. If you're listening to the show afterwards and you are on our Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, whatever platform you're listening to us on, please just make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's PTMP Live, Pass the Mic Podcast. Make sure you go on there, Pass the Mic Podcast, and hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications of when we go live or when we drop something new, just hit that little bell icon, and right on there you guys can go ahead and see it. I think Sandy is putting that on the screen for you guys. Make sure you guys check that out. So, Nino, you know the song, You Can Get With This or You Can Get With That. All right, we're going to do that real quick. Joe, you can join us. Ready? Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that.
You get with this
or you can get with that.
Think you go with this?
Because this is how it's.
This is where it's at.
Oh, yeah, this is where it's at.
on one of the verses.
My remix. Joe, can you hit me with a remix?
I can't hear anything.
All right, so here we go. This is This or That segment. You got to choose this or that. You cannot choose both.
All right.
And on top of that, you got to give me the reason why you chose it. All right.
Damn, I can't choose both. Really?
All right, you can't choose both. It's got to be this or that. All right, here we go. First one: original, brand, or generic. It's on the screen.
I'll say brand. Reality, it's whatever I like at that moment. If it's generic, it's generic.
Wait. Okay, so would you prefer having the generic brand or would you prefer having the actual brand?
I prefer having whatever I saw, I liked, I bought. I don't care if it's brand or generic. Or like, what are you saying? Like the copy? The cheating? No, man. Not the cheating. The copies from Chinatown? No, bro. I'll do the brand. I'll do a Louis, but I'm not going to do.
We'll rewind this one more time. If you could choose this or you could choose that.
No, man. I'm just talking. Look, I don't mind wearing off brands. Is that's what you're talking about?
Okay, so look.
Like I don't mind. Look, I could rock
you have either Gucci or you have better
I don't mind. I don't mind rocking Old Navy or Gucci. I don't mind. I really don't care.
I'll give you another example. You can have cornflakes or you can have Publix flakes.
Cornflakes any day.
Cornflakes. Yeah. So in general, overall, would you rather brand or generic?
Brand.
All right. And I think I understand why. Sandy.
Original brand.
Original brand. I feel like you. Yeah. I'm whatever works for me at that moment. Yeah. But if I had a choice, which one I want to go for, obviously, and it's not always the case, but brand.
Yeah, I mean,
brand.
It's
because
a name for a reason.
Because it's it's probably got all the quirks figured out and things that I'm not gonna like. Joe.
To be honest with you, I'm watching the YouTube here and it hasn't caught up to you guys yet. So just go ahead and tell me what.
All right.
What
So
it
would
was,
you
I have
rather
no idea what you're talking
would you
about.
rather have
an
original brand or would you rather have a generic brand?
For most cases, original, but a generic for pharmaceuticals. I mean, it's just as good. Man.
Yeah, pharmaceuticals, exactly.
So, but
You
you,
know
gotta,
what I mean?
you gotta choose one or the other. If you had a choice, what would you
Original.
incline to? Original.
We're going original.
All right, everybody's saying original. Let's see what we got on there. Original CEO, the real CEO. What's up, bro? Hey, the real CEO, man. He's one hip hop artist I am definitely following very closely.
I'm gonna follow him.
He is definitely on his way. Like he's got a couple tracks that are definitely hits.
Follow
For you radio guys, if you're listening, check him out. The real CEO. He's gotten record deal offers and stuff that he's declined because he is trying to be independent, and you got to respect that.
Good.
Got to respect that.
Much respect.
So-
You're gonna make a lot more money that way.
Angel, what's up, Angel? Shout out to you, bro. Christina Benitez in the building. Christina, how you doing, mama? Hope everything's good. So, what I have here, brand original. I can't afford it. If I can afford it. Brand on sale usually lasts longer. original. So everybody's going for the brand name. All right, there you go. Generic works if it works.
Yeah.
That's how I think people feel.
Pharmaceuticals.
Holy smokes. All right.
Yep.
Strawberries or cherries?
Strawberries.
Why?
Sweeter. I've never liked
The
cherries.
sweeter the
Ever.
juice. The sweeter the
I've
juice.
never liked cherries.
All right, Sandy.
I would say cherries.
Cherries. Why?
They taste better for me. Like the actual fruit, it tastes better.
You're so bitter. Joe.
Strawberries all day. I have them every morning.
Every morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm strawberries.
Every
100%.
morning.
Yeah,
strawberries for me. Sweeter the berry.
Yep.
Sweeter juice.
Sweeter the juice.
Sweet of the juice.
All right. Live in a forest or live in the desert.
Simple for me, man. Forest. I could grow my plants.
There you go.
Done.
Oh man, that was an epic answer right there.
Yeah. No doubt.
Sandy,
I would say the forest.
why?
I can't imagine living in the desert. At least you have the forest.
I mean, your
you have
name
some
already goes
shade.
with it.
I know.
Sandy.
You saw what I did there.
I gotcha.
All right, so Sandy, you're gonna go with the forest because you rather live in nature.
Yep.
Are
And
you-
you get shade.
Are you a tree hugger?
Sometimes.
So, Joe,
I got to go with forest. I mean, I imagine water and food would be a heck
Yeah.
of a lot easier to get to than in a desert. So
okay, so Joe's
There
on
you
the
go.
same wavelength as I am. I can build shelter. I can eat plants. I can most likely in a forest you're gonna have some type of animals that are edible.
100%. There's a lot of edible
There's
things in the forest.
vegetation and all that stuff. So
yeah,
for
Nino's
me-
plants are there too, bro.
Exactly.
I mean, there's more things to kill you too.
100.
But I can hopefully find a Nino in there.
Yeah,
There
you
you go.
can find
And his plants.
plants.
There it is. All right. Let's see what everybody else is saying. We're giving a few seconds to catch up. So forest. Eating cherries. Cherries.
Cherries is a big winner on mine. Wow.
Strawberries. Look at that. I love this part of the segment. Everybody chimes in. Nobody wants to chime in while the hot stuff is happening. They're afraid to. They're afraid of what?
Of what?
What do you think they're afraid of?
Judgment?
Culture cancel.
Cancel culture.
Cancel
You're
Cancel
right.
culture. There you
You're
go.
right. You're right.
Biggest word right there, man.
It's crazy.
It's sad because
Crazy.
people don't even have opinions anymore in politics or anything else for that matter because of that reason. Hey, look at Goya. That's a big prime example. Even though you're never going to cancel that one.
You're not.
You're not.
You're
I'm
not.
sorry. You take my
100%.
black beans and there's going to be a major problem.
I have a problem with.
There's going to be.
I'm not even gonna get into it.
Listen,
let's
that's
go
like-
to, let's go to this
that's-
or that segment.
That's a big one. All right, here we go. Be forgetful or always remember.
Be forgetful again. Thanks to my plans. This is
There
way
you go.
too simple for me,
Short
guys.
term's gone.
Gone completely. We
I love this
experienced
guy.
it earlier.
I love this guy. Oh my God, Sandy.
I would say always remember.
Always remember. Really? Even the bad stuff?
Yep.
Why? Oh, it's about to
Because
get deep,
sometimes you
ladies and
forget the
gentlemen.
important stuff. So
Hey, she's got a point.
Oh.
She's got a point.
Yo.
But I'd rather
She
forget
hit
the.
us. She hit us with those sour patches, man.
Yeah,
She was sweet and sour all at the same time.
she's
you saw that?
real. I like
Dope. It got deep. It's because I don't want to forget the good times. All right, Joe.
Forgetful. I mean, I blocked out my childhood, and if I don't write it down, it's not happening. So
Yeah.
I live by my email. That's my to-do list. So I don't remember anything.
All right. I like remembering, bro.
Yeah?
You know why? Because even when I remember the bad times, it teaches me what to do for the next time around. Like, I can remember what not to do or to avoid it happening again. But if I forget what happened to me, it could happen again.
I think you're always down and, back there inside somewhere. You're always going to remember your lesson from what hurt you.
Hey, man, this is that. I can make it whatever I want. Don't try to.
Gotcha. No, I like it. You're absolutely right.
Try to drug me.
I'm trying to bite you, man, to get into a debate. Let's go.
He's trying to hook me. You see this?
Go.
You see this guy? Look at this.
Gift basket.
This guy's taking over my show. This is bologna sandwiches, man. All right. Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger?
Freddy Krueger all the way.
Why?
Freddy Krueger's Freddy, man. He had the knives, the blades as a hand.
All right.
And I think I was Freddy Krueger like 2 times Halloween. Never Mike Myers.
I could see it. You got the head for it.
Yeah, completely.
Your beautiful hair, man. Your beautiful hair and the skin complexion.
You know what it is, Monet?
I can't say much, bro. We do other events. I can't say much. Yes, it's Monet.
100% I use Monet. I ain't lying.
100%.
100% I use Monet. I use this oil they gave me.
Shout out to Alcora, man. Shout out to Alcora.
It's this silver. I don't know, bro, but that oil's good.
It's a silver bottle.
The oil's good. Yeah.
So for all you Monet sellers, you can plug him in right there.
I just buy it from one person. I tell her I'm not gonna join. Just get me that bottle.
That's it. All right.
It's actually good. If you're bald, get it. I don't know about hair product, but for baldness, it works. Well, for me, like my face, for real.
All right, Joe. Let's see the head, bro.
Oh, jeez. No, you don't want to see it.
Yeah, there it is. We're going to get him the silver bottle. We're going to get him the silver bottle.
I need a
think
bottle.
You're a candidate.
We're going to give you the 50-50. We're going to give you the 50-50 solution.
I actually got a great meme that I'm going to send you about Monet today.
Oh, God. Sandy.
Michael Myers.
Why?
Freddy Krueger used to give me nightmares.
So that's why you got to choose him.
Really?
1, 2, 3. I should
off
put
my
the sound
headphones.
effects. I should put the
That
sound
song,
effects.
and who made a song of that? Was it Will Smith?
No. Well, maybe.
Yeah, was it a Fresh Prince that made a song of
Maybe.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
I know that Little John did one in one of his albums. I think Little John produced it.
Find it. I'm sorry.
But there's an NWA song too, like an old man. Is it NWA? Somebody help me out here. I know that there's a hip hop song that has it. I want to say it was like
Nightmare on My Street, I think it was called, and it was Will Smith, if I'm not mistaken.
Will Smith.
Right?
Will Smith made one.
Yeah.
But did he use that sample in it?
Yeah, I think so. In the beginning.
We could put it on here. We could put it on the show.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Remember it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you hear it right. But
Yeah, I can hear it. I don't know about
maybe
everybody
you
else.
won't get flagged for rights because of the phone.
All right, for me, I'm definitely gonna go Freddy because he's just more terrifying. I just think that's why I would pick him, because he's more terrifying.
Melted face or a mask? Terrifying melted face.
Yeah, man, definitely. You know, there's a thing though about not knowing what's underneath the mask though. There's something that can play in your mind in there, especially for a guy that just doesn't die stabbed.
What do you think is under? Skinless? Just
there was a little story behind how he would rip his face apart and stuff like that. Kind of reminds you of Chainsaw Massacre. You know how he would massacre people and use their skin for his face, and leather face and all that stuff.
Getting
so
into
it makes you
deep.
your mind can play way worse tricks, but the fact that Freddy can play in your mind is even crazier.
She had bad dreams, nightmares.
She had the nightmare on Sandy Street.
On Sandy Street. We're
All
doing
right.
dad jokes here, Joe.
There you go. All right, get caught drooling or get caught failing.
Falling.
Oh, falling. Excuse me, falling.
Get caught falling. I don't care.
You rather get caught falling?
Yeah, I don't mind being the
you're-
joke, but as long
hold
as
on.
people are having a good time.
Hold on, you're about to go on stage. You're the DJ. You're the main headline, and you'd rather get caught falling off. Or
I'm one of
falling down.
I got no problem. Let
shame
people
in the
see it.
game.
No shame in the game. I'd rather people see me be real, and it happens to
Yeah.
anybody than try to be insecure about it, and then I'm gonna go crazy, and it's
You know
gonna go
what it
into a
is?
whole health issue.
I know what it is, bro.
What?
It's because you're used to that holy smoke, bro.
Maybe that's what it is.
You're at
look,
home drooling
I-
all day. What is it? What is it? Sandy, what's the
That all
SpongeBob
depends on
guy?
the flower you smoke, by the way.
Patrick. He's like Patrick sitting there. Hey, SpongeBob.
See, so that's the stigma I'm here to change, man.
He came
I
over.
hate that stigma, man.
We're gonna get into it.
Perfect. Let's
We'll
go.
get into it. We'll
Let's
have
go.
your debate that you want.
Love
It's
it.
coming, by the way.
Love it.
The debate section's
Love
coming.
it. Love
We
it.
start off nice,
Awesome. Let's do
and
it.
then we end with a sweet. But we give you in that little segment there. We give you that.
Love it.
Let's
Let's do it.
That cancellation that you're gonna get from the culture.
Oh, no,
that's
don't
where
tell
that
me
part
that.
comes. That's where that part comes. Here we go. All right, truth or dare? What would you pick? This or that? Which one would you
Truth.
pick? You'd pick truth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why? You're afraid of the dare?
No. I've
It's
done a
just
lot of
easier
things,
for
but
you.
I think at this age, I think I'd just rather say the truth.
What's a fear for you? Have you jumped out of a plane?
I've never jumped out of a plane.
Would you?
Yeah, I think I would.
Cool. Joe, would you?
I would never. Heck no.
Okay.
But I'll take dare. I'm not jumping out of any planes, though. That's for sure.
But yeah, I don't see
What are you
what
afraid
about you?
of, though?
Huh?
What are you afraid of, though?
I don't know. Maybe marriage.
Yeah, if somebody dares you to marry somebody, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
That'd be like
I've been married once, got divorced, and
that would
that's
that
it.
would
I'm
that
not
would,
looking to get married again.
that would cancel my entire culture.
100%.
Sandy,
Truth.
truth. You're another one. What's going on here?
What about you?
What? We haven't gotten to me yet. I mean, stop. You know what? I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout. I promise. Sandy, why'd you choose truth?
Because I don't know what the dare's gonna be. So
Really? All right, Joe.
So you're afraid of the unknown?
Joe said dare. Joe said dare.
Yeah,
I'm
dare all
dare.
day.
I'm dare, man.
Why?
Really simple. I like the adrenaline rush.
Okay.
I like the adrenaline rush. I like the fear of not knowing what's coming. You know what I mean? And like when somebody dares you to do something like crazy, you're like, oh snap. You know what I mean? Like it's going down. And then you do it, and then you like
I like it.
epically make it happen. You're the man. You're the man. You know,
You're
like
right.
you can make moments with that dare. But truth, it's harder to make those moments. Can you imagine?
I've never stepped back on a dare, and I'll tell you that's the best way to live.
Exactly.
It
So
is.
why are you changing it now? Because you're a little
I'm a
older.
truth guy. I'd just rather say the truth.
All right.
I did because I'm old already. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna go jump out of a plane
bro.
at this point. It's like, what
What
do
are
I
you talking
who do I
about, bro?
gotta-
Hey, listen, that's part of the show.
All right,
After we do the show, you got to go jump out
let's
of a plane.
go. We're right next to Miami Airport. Let's go.
I'm down. You know, I've been wanting to do it for my birthday, and every time that my birthday rolls around, something happens, and I haven't been able to do it.
Well, let's go. Look, we'll stop by the store across the street. Holy smokes, from Miami Airport, and then we'll get on the plane and jump.
I'll do it.
Let's go. You in, Joe?
We'll
No way.
videotape it. All right.
No
look,
way. I'll watch.
I'll tell you
I'll
what.
watch.
I'll tell you what. We'll set it up. I will set it up with Homestead Air Base.
Let's go.
I'll set it up with Homestead Air Base, and we'll videotape the whole thing. We'll make it happen.
Let's go. I've never done it. I've bungee jumped, but never that.
You're doing it. You're the director. You got to be up there.
I'm assuming if I gotta record it.
All right. It's all right. We're doing it.
Joe, come on,
Joe.
you no?
Feet on ground.
Gotcha.
I'll watch the video afterwards.
Okay.
My thing is, I want to get really high.
Hey, Joe, truth or dare?
Yeah, right. Now it's the truth. All right, I changed my answer.
All right. Credit or cash?
Cash all the way.
Cash. Sandy.
Cash.
Joe.
Credit. Amex. Get them points.
Get the points.
He does have a point, but cash.
I'm cash,
Oh.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I built my business on cash.
Good. Same here.
I built my business on Amex.
Yep.
Smart man. That's. I understand why you're saying that though, because
Yeah.
you don't like to owe people anything.
That and they don't teach you that in school. We're gonna get into that.
You're correct.
Sleep with socks or sleep barefoot?
barefoot and feet hanging off the bed.
Pata sucia.
Yep.
Our
Or la
feet-
chancleta al lado waiting.
But hold on. You like your feet cold? Is that what it is?
No, I just like my feet, nothing covering them and hanging off the bed for some reason.
So you have like a twin bed?
No, I actually have this huge California king that me and my girlfriend are
So you
like
just-
separate.
You slide into the
completely
middle of the
separate.
bed so your feet can
Yeah,
tangle?
and I just go down and it's like she's all the way up here and I'm down here.
Well,
It's
that's a
crazy.
good question. Do you sleep with the covers over your head? Or
No.
You sleep on okay.
And then my dog over here.
That's a good question for another this or that segment. Sandy,
With socks on.
with socks on?
I like my feet warm.
All right.
Oh, Mr. Sacco.
Yeah.
Joe.
Socks just seems weird to me. I gotta be barefoot.
I'm the same
Thank you.
way.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Kind of like Nino. I got 1 foot off. Not
Listen,
both.
the only
Alright.
time I'm putting a sock on my foot is if like my mom rubbed like mentolato on my feet and I had to put it back.
Mentolate. Wow, I haven't heard that forever.
You know what I mean?
What is that for?
The Vicks Vapor Rub?
On your feet?
Bro, are you not Hispanic?
No, I am not.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Mentolate, I don't know what the hell it was. I ain't gonna lie, but it was this red thing that came in this brown plastic little bottle,
Oh, 100%.
and you would open it, and it looks like a dropper, but no, it's not a dropper. It's just this plastic straw, solid straw that you're just gonna go and just put it on your cut and paint your cut with this red liquid. I don't know. Was it iodine? I don't know. No, because that's yodo. I don't know.
No idea what you're talking about.
And mercurochrome was another one. Mercurocromo.
Oh my goodness.
It's Hispanic abuela things that you would find all this in some container that she got from something in the kitchen.
I'm backing it up. So here we go on the comments. I'm gonna hit everybody. Oh man, look! I didn't even notice he came into the
Wow.
building.
Who?
DJ LS.
Ellis, my brother. How you
What
doing,
up,
man?
dog? Hope
Miss you,
everything's good,
man.
man. Yeah, I know, man.
How's Shayna?
Oh, look at that,
Love you
man.
guys.
Oh, look at that. We even getting Shayna shout outs.
Yes. What up? That's family. They listen.
He's
they,
amazing,
They
dude.
went. They were my only like friends at my wedding in Vegas. Wow. Put it that way.
I can see that though. That's LS, man. He's a phenomenal guy.
Yep.
Estefania.
I mean, for defense for all my friends, I didn't tell anybody.
Estefania.
I just told
what up?
us.
What up? All right, here we
What
go.
up, Estefania?
I don't remember the question. Nino, nope. Oh, all right. Forgive and forget. So they would rather forget. That's Stefania.
All right.
And do we really have a choice to laugh out loud? Being hopefully doesn't mean you forget everything. Just let something go. Christina. Carla says Michael Myers. Christina says Freddie. Jose, Freddie. Estefania, Michael. Angel, Freddie. LS, Freddie. So Freddie's the winner on that
Freddie.
one. Carla says falling. She'd rather fall. Christina says falling. Been there, done that. Ha ha ha. Drooling hurts less. All right, that's Jose. Falling. Everyone trips. Christina. At my age, drooling. Angel. LS says holy smokes.
There you go.
And Christina says truth. Angel says always the truth. Carla says truth. Jose says truth. Truth is the winner.
Truth.
Wow, truth shall set you free.
Truth, baby.
Truth, because I don't want to get up to date. I don't want to get up to do the. I don't want to get up to do the dare. Is what she really meant. I think.
Gotcha.
All right.
She's comfortable, man.
Lazy over here. Laugh out loud. Michael, he's cracking up. I dare you both to start stripping right now. That's LS. You down?
Thank you, LS. I don't know why you would like to see that.
I know, man.
On my end, at least.
Seriously. Gosh.
It's not a pretty sight.
This is not el burrito sabanés. This is el gordito. Se baile. Cash is king. Credit. Cash is
Cash.
king. Cash. Barefoot. At my age, socks. Laugh out loud. Angel. Again, Angel with the funnies. Barefoot. My mother did the same with the red liquid and Vicks.
Yep. Mercurogromo.
What up?
Mentolati.
I love you boys. Oh, he's showing love. LS.
Love you, LS.
Man, much love, bro. Estefania says, yo. Let's see what we got brewing up on YouTube. The real CEO, original Strawberries Forest. Always remember Freddie, Falling Truth, Cash, and Barefoot.
All right.
I gotta agree, man. Barefoot's the way to go. All right, last
yes,
one.
Barefoot.
That's it. Actually, that's it, right, Sandy? That's it.
I like that.
This or that.
Very cool.
Glad you
like
guys
it.
enjoyed that. All right, let's go into the world topics. This is where it gets spicy, Papa. This is where it gets spicy. This is where we get to have a little bit of fun. All right, this school, the schools are approved to be virtual for the beginning of the school year instead of having students physically attend. Nino, you have kids?
I have a stepdaughter.
You have a stepdaughter.
Yeah.
How old is she?
11.
11. All right. Sandy, you don't have kids. Joe, kids?
I have a daughter, 26.
20. That's a woman, bro. That's it. We can't
Yeah,
even
man.
talk about the school thing. Is she still in
Nope.
school?
She's no, she's not. She graduated college.
Okay. All right. So,
Congrats.
well, you've had kids, so you understand where we're coming from here. All right. So the school's approved
Absolutely.
to be virtual at the beginning of the school year instead of having students physically attend. How do you feel about this?
I'm against it. I think schools should open. Why? For the simple reason that if we're going to follow the science on one end, we have to follow the science across the spectrum. If it's proven that they're not
Susceptible?
exactly susceptible and susceptible to give it to get other people with the COVID-19 as well, to contaminate other people with the COVID-19, why not just open up the schools? What is the big deal? They're going to be wearing masks.
Okay.
We have to get this world going, in my opinion.
Would you feel the same way if kids even started to get sick?
No, if the science changes, then we got to change.
But do you feel bad that it happened and you were in agreement with it?
No, because at this point, the science is lying that the deaths are skyrocketing how people
Are you
told me
saying
they
that
were.
all the science is correct right now?
I'm not saying that all the science is correct, but why are we only believing one side of the science?
Okay, here's the part of the Pass the Mic that we like to look at.
Okay.
Where do you get your information from that the science is good to say kids are good enough to go to school? Who is feeding you that information?
I see it myself, and I do the numbers myself on the Florida Health website, on John Hopkins. I can't believe the mass media, because the mass media is only pushing one narrative, and that's fear.
Okay.
The best way to explain it is this. Meteorologists, when hurricanes come to Miami,
Right.
they're going to give you fear. We literally just lived it. They're going to give you fear. Oh my God, the hurricane is coming. Why? Because they always have to prepare you for the worst, correct?
Right.
And that's their adrenaline rush. If you work in a newsroom, your adrenaline rush is whatever that news is happening. I remember I also worked in TV doing audio for a while, and it happened to be the time of 9/11. And the rush when 9/11 happened, that we were working 12 hours a day and we were nonstop, it's the same rush that scientists are getting and all these people are getting. So I get my news from everywhere, and I get my info from the numbers.
Okay.
I don't just believe one mass media.
So
that
what you're
tells me.
saying is that the numbers based on this, and you're saying you're comfortable with your 11-year-old stepdaughter going to school.
She's going.
And you're comfortable
Thank God
with
she's
it.
going and her school's opening.
And you're comfortable with it.
I'm super comfortable.
If she were to get sick, would you feel bad that you made that decision?
No, because according to what the kids don't get as sick, they get a cold, they
Right.
get a flu. So we don't shut down the world ever for the flu.
Right now,
I'm not saying the COVID is a flu,
she
by the
gets
way.
sick and she comes home and she cross contaminates somehow, and you get sick.
Somebody gets sick.
But
I
you
get sick.
really bad because you're older.
I'm older, but I'm still not in the age. I'm still gonna go back to the science, because those are the numbers I really do. Let's do the numbers. 25 to 54 of COVID, and the death rate last time I checked was at 0.22
In the percentage of the
of the 25-54. No, in Florida. 0.22, 25 to 54, and it was 0.22.
Can you double check that, Sandy?
Double
please?
check it right there.
Please.
Find it on Florida Health COVID. You want to see something even more interesting that people could Google for themselves?
Because I know in the 50
Right
range,
now,
I know
Google.
that after 35, the numbers really drastically changed.
Correct. Okay, so Google this. Google, if you right now anybody opens Google and put Florida COVID-19, they're gonna tell you the death rate and the numbers and all that, right?
Right.
Do it for New York as well.
Okay.
Okay? And then this is what's going to come up to you. That this was the other day that I saw this. Confirmed 421,000 cases. Deaths 32,401. Florida, more than New York, 487,000 cases confirmed. So more than New York, and 7,000 deaths. I think we got this controlled.
Okay.
Death-wise. I mean, I don't know how much clearer, but why doesn't the news tell us that?
You know, the thing is that
because they're instilling fear.
100%, and we all have learned. This is the beauty of social media, that they're not giving us what we really need, right?
Correct.
They're becoming more of a dramatized TV reality show almost. You know what I mean?
Novela at this point.
Exactly. Like they're writing the book for Stephen King right now. At this point, it's crazy, right? Which we all understand. Which is why I say, hey, listen. Forget all the memes about being woke and all that stuff. Just do the homework for yourself so that you're knowledgeable on what you're going to be discussing. You don't want to get canceled, right? Then be knowledgeable. But here's the problem I have with it, right?
Okay.
There are scientists, there are actually doctors, certified doctors have been healing people for years, fixing people for years, maybe killed a few people, who knows, right? But
tons of them have.
Hundreds of them, you know, almost every single one might have. You know what I mean? You never know. You really don't know. So here's the thing. How come they're getting canceled and all this? How come their voices are being shut down? How come they're no longer allowed to speak? How come they're getting debarred and removed and taken off of social media and taken off of Google and YouTube and Facebook?
You want me to tell you why?
Tell me.
Because the mass media is pushing only one side of the narrative and not giving you all the facts.
So
plain out and simple.
So is Google mass media?
They're getting there. They're already to the point of that. Yes, they are. You have to admit, people tell me, oh, but why are you complaining that a private company is censoring what they want to censor? They're not a private company anymore. They're actually media at this point.
We're sourcing a lot of our information off of Google.
100%. You could go to DuckDuckGo.
Okay, DuckDuckGo. All right.
That doesn't censor stuff.
Have you ever heard of Blackbird?
I haven't heard of Blackbird, but I'll check it out as well.
Yeah. When you get a chance, for those of you listening in, Blackbird is a real thing. So just take a look. It's a little deeper. There's a lot of other things that go on in it, but we just want to make sure. Now,
I have a problem with hashtags getting censored, specifically a hashtag that like child. What was that specific one that got canceled this morning or last night?
Save the Children.
Save the Children. Come on, man. How do you cancel Save the Children?
The bad part is, like, even on this show, because it's on YouTube, I can't even really talk about it.
That's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
And I agree, because I don't want you to lose your views.
No, and it's fine. Like,
but it's crazy.
Trust me, I'm going to go into it, but I can't do it on this platform. But we are.
Let's go. I mean,
we're gonna do it.
The thing is, my worry is freedom of speech is going away. If you just hint that you think another way, you're bad.
100%.
That's not America.
If you go against the grain, like, it's like, oh my God, you're the worst person in the world. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a bunch of other things. You know what I mean?
Tell people, what's conspiracy? It's got to be two or more people conspiring to do something evil, to do some bad. And listen, I don't think people are conspiring. I think people are doing research, and the people that are calling it a conspiracy theory are people that are too lazy to not do the research.
Joe, you're pretty quiet here, man. How do you feel about this?
I'm just listening to you guys. I mean, getting back to kids going back to school.
Yes.
I'm kind of looking at it because I do live in this medical world, because I do have to think about these things, because I am immunosuppressed.
Correct.
I have to worry about the COVID virus. So how do you socially distance in a school, in a classroom? How do you have lunch and go to PE and do all these things? I don't know if schools even have PE anymore.
Yeah, they do. And the other thing is the periods. Like, when they have period changes,
right.
they're all confined into a 48 inch section, which is the hallway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So my concern would be, even if the child doesn't seem sick, they could be asymptomatic, and then they go home, and let's say grandma lives with you guys,
which we know.
Correct.
Yeah, that's my case here. So unfortunately, that child passes it on to grandma, and grandma is older and doesn't have the ability to fight it as well.
I don't disagree with you there, but if there's somebody that you live with that has underlying issues, that person is a perfect candidate for hybrid. That doesn't mean that schools have to be shut down and that everybody has to be going to school from school.
But your first point was you think that kids should be sent back to school. So you're saying, hey, you know what? Just stop this nonsense, send kids to school.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you obviously, I mean, we're living in a world without common sense here.
No,
and it's either black or white, and that's not the way the world works.
I like the fact that they're giving the option. I think that that's necessary. I think that
but
that's
they're not
100%
giving you the
necessary.
option.
They're saying yes, you can either.
No, they were going to give you the option until then they decided no, we're going to push it back. Just like happened in the Archdiocese of Miami.
Oh, you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I gotta get Carla on here because she's in the school system. But from my understanding, as of right now, the school will be open, and she's at a charter school. So
my girlfriend is a vice principal at a charter school as well. I know the ins and outs. The teachers, the charter school teachers, will be there.
It's a summer, right? Somerset.
Well, that's Somerset. There's
another one. Okay,
a bunch, but yeah, I mean, the teachers will be working and doing their live thing.
Correct. I also this is another theory that I have. I think that the teacher should go to the school, right? Because the equipment should be there for the teachers. I think they should teach in a classroom setting, and I think that the kids that have the option or the parents need the option for them to go to school, because there is no fear at home, or they've already been, they already have the antibodies and all that stuff, or they've already had it, whatever the case may be. Those kids should go to school, right? They should be allowed to go to school and learn in front of the teacher while she or he is teaching virtually as well to those students who may not have those options, right? Or the family is just not 100%. How do you feel about that?
Dude, my point of view at this overall is that only one side of things are getting pushed.
Okay.
Overall.
But that solution, what do you think? Do you agree with that solution, or do you think it should just be open?
No, I mean, look, you always got today with COVID changed everything. So there's no one solution of just open and send the kids. That's not going to happen. Right. There always has to be a hybrid issue. If you got your people, go fine. You're going to stay home. But this whole thing of hybrid and you still go to school 2 times a week, but then do the other times at home.
No,
that
I don't
makes
agree with
zero
that. Exactly.
sense.
This is why I'm saying that the teacher should, be going to school, and it should be in a safe environment for the teachers, principals, and administration, which means that the students that go are either immune, already had it, whatever the case may be, and they're going in there to learn, right? And I also think that they shouldn't have blocks like they did. I think that they should go to the one class and the teacher should rotate. I think that's a better idea as well.
If you're a teacher with an underlying condition, I think you can't go back to the classroom.
Okay.
At this point.
But you're okay with them opening.
Huh? If you're a teacher with an underlying classroom, common sense tells you can't teach in a classroom, but you can teach virtually. So you know what? Go work for a virtual school company.
Okay.
The life is changing. Life is changing. We can't.
I agree.
If I had to leave the radio studio to go work from my house, and I don't want it. I don't want to work from my house. I want to go back to the studio.
Here's the problem.
I think it's crazy that companies are telling you to follow dots on the floor, stay 6 feet apart, don't talk to each other. Don't congregate, rat each other out.
Yeah.
Point each other out. No, that's wrong. I think this is
What's
insanity.
that Instagram, Sandy? What's that Instagram where the mayor's looking at? COVID, what is it? Date COVID, or what is it? I don't remember what it is. So literally, mayor? It's an Instagram, basically just people posting, people not following guidelines or whatever, snitching them out. And the mayor is actually looking at everything that we're doing.
What world are we living in?
_305.
What is it?
COVID_305.
COVID_305. And you're just basically calling people out. So like if you had like a party at your house and you're like pissed off at your neighbor, you could just videotape it, and then the people get fined, sued, whatever. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of different things. So
unfortunately, the only time I heard about neighborhoods snitching on each other, it was called El CDR, and I didn't live there because I was born here in Miami. And that was it was basically the snitch group at every block had in Cuba, because that's how they kept control of the block.
I don't know.
So we're teaching people to snitch on each other. We're teaching people to stay home, not congregate, don't talk to each other. And I think it's a program that is going on.
I think if people, and this was best said on the last episode, if people were to respect other people, we would be okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you had a mutual respect for people, whether you like them or not, it would be the ultimate solution, right? So if you respected somebody, like for example, we have people that just have like a massive problem with somebody being gay, lesbian, whatever the case may be, right? And you tap on their shoulder and you're like, "Excuse me, miss," and they look like a miss, and they're like, I'm a man, right? And you're like, and you get offended and you get all upset and you get worked up. But instead of doing that, you'd be like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, sir. Is it possible that I can pass by you?"
Yeah.
Right? It's a mutual freaking respect. If you don't have to be best friends with that person, you don't have to like that person, whatever, you can have your feelings about that, or even about that subject, and you can go to church and you can go wherever you want and testify that, that's the wrong thing to do, and but go to your blue in the face saying, "This is why I believe in what I believe in, and this is why you should consider it." That's what an intelligent person would do. They would listen to what somebody else says, analyze it, look at themselves, analyze what they're going to rebuttal back with actual intellectual facts. And that's how you have an intellectual conversation. But people just don't seem to grasp that concept. And I think that that's probably the bigger underlying thing. I think that what you're saying is, okay, kids should go back to school. Okay, but there's got to be a plan. Because
there is a plan. There was a plan set in the charter school
that's
that you're.
not a good plan.
That
That's not a good plan. That's not
What
a
do
good
you mean?
plan.
What was wrong with the
That's
plan?
not a good- the plan, the 50-50 plan, I was for
The
100.
50-50 was
I was 100.
insane.
I was, you know what?
The 50-50 of 2 days and then go back home?
No. I'm talking about the 50-50 where, like, if you wanted to have the option to be able to go or not to go, that was the best option on there. That was the number one option, period.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it included the teachers too. And I love that option. I think that was the greatest option they could have given. Right? Because you don't know each person's individual, settings or platform or whatever, what's going on at home, right? Or the fear that they may have. And that's a true thing. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody has a legitimate fear, well, maybe you shouldn't be working in an environment where kids are snotty, throwing up,
Exactly. If you're a germophobe, you shouldn't be working at a school in the first place.
You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's some certain things that you just need to understand, right? But as we all know, there's crazies. That's why we have the PTMP crazies. We just understand it.
How do you explain people? Okay, but how do you explain not allowing churches, but then a bunch of other stuff?
But then letting strip clubs, etc., and other things. And
come on,
and you
man.
know what?
This is
a lot of people,
what's up with
a lot
us?
of people have brought that to light, and I totally agree with you 100%. This is the problem I have with it in general. This whole 50-50 crap is driving me nuts. Either open up the floodgates or close it completely down. If you look at other countries, they're doing it better than us, and we need to follow example. We need to either lead or we need to follow.
Who's doing it better than us? Tell me.
Who's doing it better than us? Alemania. Look at Alemania.
Didn't Germany not close at all?
Germany had.
Who was it that not
down.
closed? Shut
Germany
down. Sweden?
shut down completely. Okay, and not only that, their government helped every single company and with anything that they needed, and they're already nearly back to completely normal.
Okay, but we completely shut down. Our government helped us.
They didn't completely shut us down. Come on, man. When were we ever 100% shut down?
We're never 100% shut
No,
down because
they
you know why though?
100
Well, you know why
100%
though?
shut
You
down.
know why you can't 100% shut down the entire country and you got to leave Walmart and all these people open? Because people got to eat. If they shut you down, then the military has to give you food because you got to eat.
And what's wrong with that?
You know what's wrong with that? That as soon as the military is giving you food, they're going to say that now there is a militarized zone and we're completely under martial law and people are gonna go crazy. Come on, with what's going on, you think a military giving you an MRE, Sandy's gonna be okay with it?
Let's just boil this down though. But hold on, if we do that, right? If we do that, what's them to say that you can't go to work right now? Like I can't. My industry is completely dead. So technically, they've taken my rights anyways. They've martial lawed me because if I get caught on the street without a mask, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
I'm going to get fined and I can even get arrested. So the same thing that you're saying
since
is
you were
already
shut down, you
anyways.
want the school shut down. You want everything shut down. Is what you're saying.
I'm saying either shut it all down to fix the problem or open it up. But this slow graduation.
Really think there's a fix?
I think.
You know what the fix is going to be in November? All of a sudden, it's gone.
You know what? And you might be 100% correct. But from what I am seeing, as far as other countries are concerned, other countries like
no other country
like,
has as much
like,
tests as we
like,
does, and you got to look at the facts. We
look.
have all the tests. Then on top, all the Florida tumbe of tests. Guys, you want to go to the Bahamas right now? You got a friend, you call up, hey man, I need a negative test so I can get into the Bahamas. Boom, boom, boom. You don't think that's happening in the testing places?
Look, Robert's a he's a first responder. Okay. And Robert basically says, no, we did not completely shut down. And it's true. We did not completely shut down, not even close.
I stayed open, thankfully.
The reason Miami is the way it is because we did this, we're going to open, we're going to close. We're going to open, we're going to close. This is why we are the way we are.
You can't completely shut down.
Even New York is getting better than us.
You need to feed the citizens, man. You can't completely shut down.
I'm telling you, bro.
You can't.
It's
impossible to completely shut down the United States.
Other people are doing it.
Okay, then you would be okay. Obviously, because you were in the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
But a regular person, a regular citizen,
mind you, we didn't eat
would be
MRIs.
Okay with MRIs or whatever.
We didn't MREs. Excuse me. We didn't eat MREs. Okay. And secondly,
you didn't. But a lot of government. My brother was a Marine 2 wars, and he ate tons of MREs.
And when they're not in deployment, you don't have an MRE. So let's just boil it down to facts. Okay. So the government can supply regular food, turkeys, food, etc., because it happens every disaster. FEMA's in there to do that. Okay,
to every single citizen of the United States.
I am also saying that there is a way to distribute food in the United States. 100%.
Obviously, there's a way, but for God's sakes, we were running out of toilet paper.
We were again. If they wanted to,
right. I mean, you got your opinion. I respect
it. If they wanted to have a distribution for food for us, toiletries, etc., you're going to tell me that there's no internet way for us to order food and close everything else down.
If there's one thing we learned is that we had an expectation of the U.S. that wasn't true.
Listen,
you have to admit that was the truth.
100%.
So knowing that you got let down with protective equipment at the beginning, you're going to tell me that they could feed the entire population of the U.S.? No, man, I disagree.
I'm not saying that they're going to feed the entire population.
That's what you literally told me a little while ago.
What I'm saying is that we could have found another way to feed the entire United States. I'm saying that it's maybe not in place, right? But you're going to tell me that even with the crap right now, with how they were figuring out the COVID thing, and they were lining up people in Hialeah, you're going to tell me they couldn't have used a server to figure out that problem? Who
are you blaming for that? Who are you blaming for that?
Who else do you blame?
Tell me who you blame for that?
You got to blame the people in place that are making these rules. The people that are making these rules. That specific situation
of Hialeah, who do you blame for that?
It was actually what's the company? What is that? The Department of
That's the mayor of Hialeah that decided to do it that way. That's where the buck stops.
There was other places doing the same thing.
Not the same way. I reported on it. I did the whole thing. I interviewed the mayor that morning that he was promoting people to go over there. They were supposed to be in cars, and guess what? Hialeah does whatever they want, and they're gonna line it up. If they didn't think that Hialeah was gonna do whatever they wanted, then you know what? You shouldn't be the mayor of that city.
Here's my question: why do it like that in general? Why have people go there in general? Period. Why have people go anywhere?
Because Miami.
We have mail, we have email, we have almost everybody has a cell phone. If you don't have one, you can get a government phone, okay? So you can't tell me you can't get a government phone. You have any means of being able to get the information to people. As a matter of fact, FedEx was doing free delivery if you needed to send in the information, right? And if you needed the paperwork, you can pretty much get it from anyone online. I was passing it out to people that needed it.
Do you know what the reason, though, why they were doing that? Because the unemployment of the state website was down. That's why they were doing the paperwork.
My point exactly. You're going to tell me like a company like let's just say let's just go with let's see, Google, Microsoft couldn't have stepped up and given some server space to fix that problem? We're talking about the freaking government here. They couldn't step in and go,
Google is censoring the same doctors that you're defending.
We're gonna pay you to use your servers.
It's not in their interest.
So that we can do this.
No, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They're censoring the same doctors that you complained that were getting censored. Google is, and so is Twitter, and so is Facebook. They're the ones censoring it. So that you're telling me that a Republican government like Florida could have called Google and they would have been, yeah, let me help you out in this COVID thing that I really want you to screw up
but
on.
now you're breaking down to like now you're breaking it down to like Republican or Democrat
because that's what it falls down to. It's gonna end in November. Watch. It's crazy.
And again,
it's
you
crazy.
you have a point. I'm not gonna not validate that point because it's another part of this theory, etc., etc.,
It's not a theory. You gotta say it's a theory. You gotta do the research. You can't just say theory.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, there's
In my
research.
opinion.
There's research behind it, but there's not 100% factual statements stating 100% that that's the actual thing.
But
what
the
you're
fact
doing,
checkers that they're telling you are 100% facts.
no, I'm not giving you that.
Then
What I'm
why are
saying-
the people being
but what I'm saying-
censored?
listen, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is there a possibility of doing it another way? Is there? Can we agree on that?
What part are we talking about?
We're talking about let's just go with the way the unemployment line was and how they had people going into the unemployment. Is there a better way of doing that?
There should have been a way better way. Of course, there's a way better
Okay.
way of doing
Now,
that. But I'm not gonna.
Opening up the schools the way they gave us those options. They gave us those options. Is there a better way to do that?
There's a way better way
Okay,
to do that. But
why
but-
is-
okay?
hold on,
The person
I'm
you
gonna
told me
stop.
was
I'm gonna-
charter and Miami-Dade public schools and charters are completely different things.
Miami-Dade
completely
public, hold
different
on.
things.
Miami-Dade public schools find the way for charter. They are the foundation for charter. Charter follows Miami-Dade guidelines.
But they're independent-
But they
but
can
they're
do
independent
it. They can do it their
companies.
own way. They can do it their own way.
Correct.
But they follow the guidelines of Miami-Dade.
Today, charter schools could open, even though Carvalho says no. Okay, that's the way it works. So why aren't charter schools open? They were set to open, and you know that very well.
Yes.
They were set to open.
100.
Why? You know why they're not going to do that? Because Carvalho, they don't want to be the first scapegoat. Just God forbid a kid gets sick.
Nobody does.
So it's a liability thing.
of course, nobody
okay?
does. It's like when you go to the hospital.
But okay,
they
but
make you sign a form before you die.
Yeah, but it's not right. But you can't say that Miami-Dade is the same. Miami-Dade public schools is not the same as charter. It's completely different. They're just funded. They have to get paid by Miami-Dade public schools, but it's not the same thing.
So here's my point. This is the way to eliminate that whole thing that you're, and even the strong possibility that it's real what you're saying and all your beliefs. Okay, if you gave people the voice, and we're the ones who came up with the solutions and presented it to Congress and presented it to our mayors and our deputies and everything else, right? And they grabbed those things and as Republicans, Democrats, and in the center, whatever you want to consider it, and they hashed it out and came back to the people and said, hey, this is what we came up with. This is why we can't do it. Lawmakers, blah, 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 blah. All the logistics, legalities, all that stuff. And then we came up with a middle ground. You're going to tell me that wouldn't be the way that the American way is supposed to be?
Right now, it's supposed to be,
Is
but
that-
nobody's gonna do that right now
Why?
because it's an election year.
Why?
Why? Because that's the way the elections work. It happen every 4 years.
Listen.
Why? Because they're all owned by lobbyists.
You know,
all of them. All of them.
The real reason why is because they've put fear in us and not the other way around. They're giving us the options, not the other way around.
Options of what? What options do you have?
Like they literally are the ones who make the laws and tell us to choose between those two laws. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be. It never was designed to be that way.
what two laws are you choosing though?
What I'm saying is, in general, in general in politics right now, okay, when a law is being presented or we're voting on something to change, right? We don't get that option to input
because
those things.
You're not part of those interest groups. You got to pay to play. That's basically how it works right now.
Again,
It
it's not
should
the
change.
right way.
Yes, it's not the right way, but we don't live in a perfect world,
And that's
that's what's trying to change. And right now, all I see is people forcing things down my throat.
I agree. And I don't agree with the options that are there. Joe, man,
He's like, I'm standing back.
Dude, I can tell you this much. I do not think this virus is going away in November.
All right.
And I don't think kids going back to school are not going to bring it back home. I mean, that's it. And as far as shutting down, either shutting down or not shutting down, I mean, we had our essential businesses when they shut it down. You know, restaurants were still open. They were doing takeout only, and it was working. I mean, I don't know how restaurants were making any money, but they were at least in business.
right.
So I can't see FEMA driving by my house and delivering turkeys and groceries. Do you?
No, I don't either. I really don't. But what I think that they could have done is, we have an Uber system. We have a lot of other systems out there, Instacart, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, the list goes on, Amazon, whatever the case. We definitely easily could have used all the resources that we actually have to make those logistics happen for us. Okay. And there could have been a lot of companies that could have opened logistically. I own a couple of, trucks. I could have made money during this COVID if they would have made that happen. And a lot of other people could have too. There's plenty of 18 wheelers. There's plenty of trucks. There's plenty of boats. There's plenty of everything. Okay. There wasn't a shortage of those things, and they could have used the American resources to bring America up, and they didn't. Okay. And that's the problem that I have, because those options were not on the table. And the reason those options were not on the table, because they didn't let other people like ourselves make those decisions. And that's how you fix an imperfect world, or something that's not going to change because of a
what
freaking
government
election.
was controlling you? What government was
Our
controlling
government.
you? That's the
Our
thing.
government was controlling
but
us.
they're telling us to stay home. Don't talk to each other. Everybody's agreeing with
And
this,
we're
and
agreeing
it's
with
like,
it.
yo, what are you guys doing?
It's wrong.
You're being sheep.
It's wrong. It's wrong. And I'm
This is
glad
not
we
the
can agree
US.
on that. I'm glad we
This
can
is not
agree
the
on that.
US.
Because I stood for what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
I know you did.
I
and
did
thank
my
you for your
5 I did
service.
my 5 years to make
100%.
sure that I can say that.
We could disagree on schools, but
Yeah,
I 100%.
100%.
Listen,
Yeah.
we can't be sheep, and I
But
feel
look,
that we're becoming sheep, guys.
I have a 4-year-old. Okay, I have a 4-year-old at home, a little daughter. Okay, and I feel that if I send her to school and she gets sick for any reason, I would be to blame, because she doesn't have a saying. A high school student is mental enough and has the capacity to say, yes, I want to go. No, I don't want to go.
But have you ever worried, or have you ever searched the data on any other sickness?
I have looked at what the doctors have said. I have followed what
doctors?
Personal friends of mine, okay, and then the things that are happening on media. All right.
Okay.
I tend to try to stray away from the media.
Good.
And I try to look at the underweb, the back web, the black market, etc. And I try to watch what's really happening,
Right.
and I try to get some more personal things from people, because it's easier for me to read somebody than to read a document and not really get the feel for it. Right? Because you can read something one way and you can read something another way.
Correct.
Okay? But when you hear it from somebody, or you can see it and you can physically, tangibly reach that thing, that gives me a more solidified answer to what I'm looking for. Okay? And so when I see something like we're slowly opening up versus the other states and stuff like that, and I see the way that the trend is here just in Miami and why we got worse, it's logically in my brain, again, you can disagree,
I'm believing you. I mean, I'm
this
respecting
slow,
your opinion.
this
but-
slow process of opening, closing, 9 o'clock, we're going to close because, the COVID comes out at 9 o'clock, apparently, when you're drinking. Okay.
That's insanity to me. This is crazy.
Those little things like that is why we got way worse than everybody else. Okay. The reason that we're not like, Spain and other places like that, and even Brazil. I look at places like that and I look at the way they're doing things, even their energy, the way they're doing their energy. Dude, we're way freaking behind, but we're a young country, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is we have a system where that they don't. And the system is in place for American citizens to stand up and fight against their government, and we're not utilizing that. And that's the voice that I want to pass on this mic. That's what I'm looking for on Pass the Mic. That's what I want to do. So when people tell me we can't do it, why? Because we say we can't do it because the government's standing in front of us? That's baloney. We need to stand up. We need to come together as people, virtually or in person, to make that change. That's the change America needs. People say make America great. When was it great? Please tell me. There's
before we gave up everything to China.
There's a really hard, hard line there. There's a few times where it was, pretty decent and really nice, and we had some great, times. But where we can say that we were perfect, no. There's really no country that was perfect. Okay,
no country that was perfect. And I think it's all a narrative and design that we've been pushed.
I think the perception to get there is what I'm saying. Give people the voice. Let people come up with a middle ground, because we're never gonna agree, and I'm okay with that.
Correct, and that's fine. I got no problem with it. I don't.
If there's a middle ground where it makes sense, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, because it may not be perfect, but I'm for that majority consensus because there are people smarter than me. I remember going to school and looking at the guy who was smarter than me and trying to copy off of that paper or try to, figure out what they're doing to
my thing is that there's too many inconsistencies. How is one doctor better than the other saying this?
Let's go into what the people say.
No, I'm sure I'm gonna get tons of attacks, but I'm fine with it because I love
it. Listen,
that's how you learn.
Of 100%.
If we can't have this conversation, then we got a bigger problem in the United States, man.
Virtual 5. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't judge people for how they think. I don't think people should judge me for how I think and change my mind. That's how it is. Change my mind.
Exactly. Make me bring intellectual facts that I can look at and go, you know what? Maybe I should question myself.
Exactly. Don't just cut me off. Change my mind. That's what I want to know.
All right. No, we didn't shut down. That's what Robert said, and that's where I left off. So we're gonna keep going on from there. Eduardo, he says, I think that's the hit right there. November. Once the elections are over. So he's in agreement with you 100%. Yeah. And there's a lot of people. I said, I'm
political. Yeah.
I am definitely looking at that as, again,
it obviously exists. Let's make that clear. COVID exists, but they've made it worse than what it is because of politics.
Let's see. I agree with Eddie. Either close it down completely or open it all up. This current situation is obviously not working. Numbers are still going up.
But
that's
from
deaths. Michael. Michael's also a first responder. Okay. Sorry. The mayor has really screwed up this thing really bad. He doesn't know if he's coming or going. He's basically doing things as they arrived and then being with them, not thinking ahead. So Nino would like to know which one.
Yeah, which mayor? Because there's tons of mayors. And in my opinion, man, each of them have their own screw-ups.
Right. Well, you know what? It boils down to the governor. There you go. It all boils down to the governor. At the end of the day, if you really want to look at it, if you're going to have Uber drivers out on the road, somebody has to give them the food. That means somebody has to be at open the doors and all that stuff. Get it? 100%.
Correct.
He's 100% correct. But I'm also not saying we have to shut down food distribution, but what I'm saying is we do have to shut down strip clubs,
strip clubs
all
were shut down.
Stuff.
Strip clubs were shut down when we were in quarantine. Only things that were open. Listen, I'll tell you what was open. It was Home Depot. It was Walmart. And why was Home Depot open? Because of disinfectants and cleaning products. So and at that point, people went and started doing home improvements. Let's be real.
Open. There was also a bunch.
There was
of
smoke
other
shops
things.
open.
There was
liquor stores open. There was listen.
Yes.
I became an essential business. Again. Thank God. Who would have thought?
Again, they shut down barbershops, which have they shut down barbershops which have higher hygienic properties than most.
Correct, and I disagree with that 100%. It's wrong.
Eduardo's going in over here. But with that being said, there's a better structure. There's a better structure. You can't just tell some people to close and some people not to close. It has to be fair on both parties. If you open up a strip joint, you open up a church. If you open up a Walmart, you can, et cetera, and it goes on from there. Robert says, we have no leadership here in the U.S. Robert.
Okay,
that's a strong opinion, brother. I would love to hear you go a little bit more on that. As a matter of fact, I can bring you in on a call if you'd like. We can bring you in with Joe here virtually if you'd like to. Just hit me up and we'll put you on a call. Everyone is doing what they want to do. That's also from Robert. I still don't understand why the beaches are open again. So which doctor do you listen to?
I listen to as many doctors as I can get information on and like feedback.
And he goes, first, no one is changing anybody's mind. I think that there is a persuasion and I think there's a general consensus that yes, the media and other things and other factors are changing people's minds, brother. I think that you're off on that one. I agree with the other things that you're saying. I also want to know what other people, doctors they're listening to. I don't listen to Fauci at all. I don't believe that he is somebody we should be listening to. I looked into the money. I followed the money.
Thank you.
And it's there's a lot of question marks there. when I talk to doctors that I've done events for, people that I know personally, and they were telling me what's really going on, and then I hear that the Z-Pack and all these other things are really working, and then you look at other countries and they are working and they are fixing people, and we're not doing it, red alert.
Exactly. Who's to blame here?
Red alert.
Who's to blame?
You get what I'm saying?
Red alert. Oh, bro, there's flags all over the place.
Follow the money, and there's a lot of answers there. I'm just leaving that on the table. I'm
Do
not
your
saying it's a
research.
conspiracy. What I'm saying is make sure you are following what you believe in, and make sure that you have really good facts behind it, right?
100%.
And Nino and I can disagree on a million things, but at the end of the day, we want the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's okay for him to disagree with me because I've learned a lot. And I listen to every word that he says. And afterwards, I'm going to play back this, and I'm going to listen to every detail.
yeah.
And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to say, hey, listen, remember when we talked about this? I didn't have this, but here's this.
And you were wrong on
you're
this,
gonna-
and tell me
you're-
if
and
I
he's
was
gonna
wrong
come back
or if
to
I was
me,
right.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I was wrong on this,
Yeah.
but you were right on this, but I was right on this because of this. And then you're going to come back and tell me this and that. And we're going to go back and forth until we come to a freaking middle ground. And that's what we need to do again.
So that's exactly what I agree with you 100%. But my issue is that we need to have a country that we could be able to discuss this. Not a country like we're having now is that if you don't agree with that person, they're going to cancel you.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And they're going to scream at you. And all they do
That's
is they don't
ridiculous.
give me reasons on why this is such and
That is
such.
so
They just
ridiculous.
dismiss my thing with something the media told them.
100%.
No, bro, you're wrong. Do your research.
Do you feel the
Not
same way,
you
Joe?
specifically in
No,
general,
I hear you.
you know?
You feel the same way, Joe?
I'm a fan of Fauci. I know I kind of go against you with that.
Okay.
That's fine.
I like the message that he's putting out there. I think
Okay.
if you look back to what he said, it's all kind of coming true. You know, I mean, even Trump now is promoting masks.
If you knew it was coming, would you say it was coming?
I'm sorry?
If you
You
knew
were
it was
cutting out.
coming, if you knew it was coming, would you say it was coming?
If I knew it was coming, would I say it was coming?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't understand.
So what I'm
Go ahead.
saying is,
Yeah.
like, if he already knew that was going to happen,
Wouldn't you warn people?
would you warn people?
I think he did warn people. I think he made it very clear that this is going to get worse.
So is it a possibility he already knew what was going to happen?
Of course, it's
How-
a virus. We know how most viruses work
How did he know it was going to happen?
because we've had plenty of viruses.
Brother, I'm going to send you so much
Yeah.
information, you're going
So-
to your
so-
head's going to
so-
spin.
so-
There's a lot of info out there, man.
So do you think this was developed?
100% of what
I can't say that. I
believe so.
And
I believe
you
it was
ha-
okay.
you have
Maybe not
every
not
right.
developed.
You have every right,
Look.
but what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna send you some information, and you can rebuttal with the information with some facts, and I'll be more than happy to look at it. But right now, 100% facts show if you follow the money, which doesn't lie because that's a record. Every other conspiracy or every other theory behind it, I can't give you 100%, right? And I would agree with a lot of things that you're saying.
There's a lot of crazy theories
right?
out there, man.
I would agree with
There's
a lot of things that you're
crazy
saying,
things,
but
yeah.
I'm gonna give you fact, like 100% fact. If you follow the money, the story becomes a little bit more clear. Okay,
It's true. You're 100% correct. Follow the money. The
Yeah.
money tracks
That's
everything.
all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you how to find it. I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm just gonna tell you follow Fauci's money and how he got it and how everything's developed and the way it's developed, and you'll make your own judgment, not by anybody else, but by the bank records. And then you'll come to me and you'll be like, "Holy smokes, dude!"
Wow. Gonna
Yeah.
get woke. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe you will, maybe you won't. There's some
depends
people
on
that
the
even
person,
still
yeah.
see it. I'm telling you like it is. There are some people that see it and go, you know what? You can bend it any which way you want, and you're right. I could be 100% wrong, but intellectually, as I've learned from the day I was born to now, this is what I'm looking at, and this is how I'm looking at it. Until you can justify just a feeling or just the way you feel about something and the way you perceive something, I can't agree with you. But if you brought me some facts as to why that money was there and why the things were there, I'd be more than happy to sit down and listen to what you're having to say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or pay more attention to it. It's basically.
So let me ask you this: come election day, is this going away?
I would have to say that after the elections, a little bit right after it, I think things will straighten out quite significantly. I also think that they're on the verge of a development for a cure, and I think that the cure, they're just trying to find a way to change that shift in power.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you get?
I know exactly
where I'm going.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you think after the election this vaccine will come out and then
I think
it's
the
gonna come out
vaccine will
before.
come out before 100% before.
Way before.
We've already had that solution, and other people have found the solution because the virus wasn't supposed to wipe people out, is what I think. But again, these are just feelings, bro. So I hate saying feelings. That's my problem. I hate feelings because they don't have any ground, right? I'm using certain things that I found and research and stuff like that to give you what I'm feeling, but I don't have definitive answers. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Gotcha.
The way I do it is I just tell people, man, look, if you have any doubts on how things look, if something doesn't make sense to you, because there's a lot of things that don't make sense of this whole situation. You can't look at it as one specific situation.
Right.
You got to look at it as, okay, pull back, zoom out, look at this situation, look at this situation, look at this situation, and look at this situation.
Yeah.
Once you see all of that, you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of things come together, and you're like, whoa, all right.
You ever
and
seen the
it's
movie,
up to you.
You ever
know?
seen the movie Cars? It's a little
The
kids
movie
movie.
what?
Cars.
Yes.
You saw the movie Cars? Have you seen part 2 of Cars by any chance?
No.
All right. Well, if you get a chance, watch the movie. This will hit home for you. Okay. You watch the movie, and basically what happened was a company called Amoil, right? Or I think it's Amoil or whatever in the movie, tries to make this biodegradable, really healthy, clean, systemic fuel. But race cars and everything are still available to use it because it's just better fuel for everything. So the developer breaks this out, and there's tons of money behind it, and blah, blah, blah. So during the movie, they have a spy car, and it becomes fun and whatnot. And Lord and behold, at the end of the movie, what they're giving you the whole time, what you see is the big oil companies are being driven by a company that needs that not to die, right? So it's a bunch of lemon cars, right? So like your Pentas, your Volvo Pentas and stuff like that. Your crap cars, right? They're the Ford Pinto. Those are the cars that don't want to die and be forgotten about. And so they have a big stock holding in oil, right? In crude oil. And so by the end of the movie, the guy who created the biodegradable fuel was actually the mastermind behind the big oil companies. And the way that they found it was they found how that was tracking around, right? So what he was doing and how they got there, right? So again, you're looking at this because this is the big picture, but you got to go back here to find where this is being driven, right? You got to find out how this source got there so that you can see what's behind the curtain, right? And that's basically how the research that I try to do, and I have a strong feeling Nino does the same thing. We'll talk about it off air. But I've mentioned a couple names in the beginning of the podcast that if you really want to get into brass and tacks, you can get in there. You know what I mean? Like you can dig really deep and kind of see some more stuff.
Really deep. My main thing, man, is just I hate people that are just gonna dismiss it. That's when I'm like, okay, man, then that tells me you really don't want to do your own research, and you just want to be told what to do, you know?
100%. And again, I know that there needs to be check and balances. 100%.
There you go.
There's always got to be checks and
100%.
balances, and I agree with that. So we beat this dead horse. Let's move on to the next one. Let's go. All right. Florida woman kicked off American Airlines plane on her flight to Illinois for wearing an offensive mask that says F12. And a shirt that says Black Lives Matter. Okay, so
What's F12?
you know what 12 is?
No.
Streetwear, bro. 12.
Gotcha.
Popo. 5-0. Bo Brown.
Okay.
Whoop, whoop.
Gotcha. All right, so that's the Popo now. It's not 5-0.
Got you.
Okay.
Police.
Gotcha, police. All right.
The 12 is
F12. Gotcha.
F12 is
gotcha.
F police. Okay.
All right.
And then the shirt says Black Lives Matter.
All right.
So again, if they would have worn a Black Lives Matter shirt and they would have put I don't like police, or I hate police, or be woke about police, or anything else other than the word F, again, it comes to a respect thing, a mutual respect thing. You can have all the voice and words that you want. You can have your feelings and beliefs, and you can wear your shirts of beliefs and whatever you want, right? But the minute you cross the line and say the F word, a child, a 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 10-year-old, 8-year-old can read the word F, etc., 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 right? And understand what that means and understand what that shirt is saying. And that's offensive to people. And that's a respect thing.
I agree.
It's a respect thing.
But music isn't going that way.
Understand, they still don't play it on the radio.
I mean, you got to listen to Spanish radio. Listen to the words.
Of course, and I'm going to agree with you. There are words on the radio that I don't agree with. There's words on the radio I don't agree with, man. Honestly.
At that point, yes, you're right. You do have 100% a point that the kids shouldn't be able to read it. Yes, the word F,
which is
spelled
why
out, is wrong.
When YouTube says, hey, this is going to be in front of kids, what do I write on my script? Keep it clean. We have to be on YouTube in order for us to be able to monetize and be able to show it to a large, broad band of people. We need to respect the community laws. And why do they have those laws? Because there's children. I don't want to curse in front of children. I don't want to curse in front of my daughter. You know what I mean? Or if I do, that's my problem. It shouldn't be your problem. It's like smoking in somebody's face.
There should be more respect overall. Respect.
You shouldn't smoke in somebody's face.
But I don't know if it's to kick somebody off the plane for it.
I think they could have removed the item or changed the item, given them a different item. But who knows who was on that plane? Who knows what backgrounds and stuff like that, and how far somebody took it? Or even if they told them, "Hey, you need to take that off," it became a cell phone glory thing, and fight back. And this is what they're doing to me. Can you believe this? Because they don't believe in what I'm saying. This is how black people get treated. Who knows what was said in that? Right? Who knows? Because I have yet to see the video. Have you, Sandy?
I have not seen the video.
I have not seen the video. So once I see the video, then I'll give you some more facts on it. But as of right now, who knows what happened? But I can only imagine what congregated out of that in order to do this. And again, we are in super sensitive times with everybody's feelings in a mix and a bind and a bundle. And it's getting ridiculous.
People are snapping, man.
It's getting ridiculous, okay?
You lock up people snap.
Joe, anything else on that?
I mean, it goes back to the First Amendment, but you got to be decent. You got to be respectful. So the F-12, maybe that was a little crossing the line. Yeah. Black Lives Matter. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's cool.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. They have all the right in the world to wear the Black Lives Matter. I don't have a problem with it. 100%. I don't have a problem with them disagreeing with police or hating police or whatever they want. Yeah, defund the police, whatever. Wear your defund police mask. That's your belief. But the minute you say F or B or C or D or any of those that are very offensive and a child can read it, it's a problem.
Yeah. It crosses the line.
But we lost that respect in the United States.
It's a problem.
That's what's wrong.
It's a problem, 100%. Yeah. There's some more writings on there. We'll wait up on it. Since TikTok has announced it being banned, let's see this. I'm going to try to read this one more time. Since TikTok was announced it be banned, Instagram released a feature called Reels.
Yep.
That allows short form content for 15 seconds with audio and music, just like TikTok. Instagram is wasting no time.
They basically killed Snapchat, right? Because
No.
they were like going to become the big boy Snapchat, and then they came out with the story, so like they kind of pulled back a little.
Snapchat's still around.
Yeah,
Snapchat's around. It's just
does it still have the fame that it had before? Like
it's kind of like Twitter though.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
it's
Twitter.
like in Miami.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Or in Florida. Or
yeah. Like if you want to slide in somebody's DM, like real DM, Snapchat.
my share of snapping.
Right, Joe?
Well, yeah, exactly. Shh, come on, man. No, but Instagram, they found this void and they filled it. I mean, good for them, man. They jumped right on.
Yeah, I mean,
look, at least is Instagram American? Sandy?
It's Facebook, isn't it?
It's Facebook.
Facebook, so it's American, yeah. So at least it's American.
I'd rather people use Reels than something that sends all our data to China.
Feel me?
100%.
Right there with you. All right, Men's Warehouse owner files for bankruptcy as pandemic torpedoes suit sales. They will be closing over 500 stores. I'm a Men's Warehouse shopper.
So am I.
Kind of sucks. But like JCPenney, I mean, the list goes on and on, man. This is gonna be a tough break for United States and the world in general. Anything on that, Joe?
Where else am I gonna get 2 suits for $300 and not wear them anywhere?
Well, 300 advertised, but when you get in there, it's a lot more.
got
Yeah, right. Exactly. They start upcharging.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's not for that suit that you liked. It's this. You can get this, or you can get with that.
Do you buy clothes online, Joe?
Everything online. Are you kidding?
Yeah, you're doing the clothes online, everything.
I can't do clothes online, man.
I can do clothes online.
I mean,
I have to try it on sometimes.
yeah. I haven't
what's
been
good
able to
about-
do that.
What's good about Amazon is you can send it back. It doesn't cost you anything.
It's true. They also have that like fit try thing,
Yeah.
right? They have
A
certain
wardrobe or whatever
Yeah,
it's
a
called.
wardrobe program where you can wear it for like 2 weeks, and that's awesome for like us back in the day. Can you imagine, bro? You would have been
perfect.
able to like rock the best suits,
Yes.
and then like send them back like, oh, it didn't fit right, or I didn't like the color. Instead of having to keep all the tags on like you did before,
Right.
you can actually look cool in the club now, and never own any of this stuff. All right. You just have to have a good credit card. You gotta have that Amex like Joe has.
There you go.
All right. At least 135 people were killed and 5,000 wounded in a massive explosion that shook Beirut on Tuesday. It's still unclear what caused the explosion. Nino, you got anything on that, brother?
There's something up there, man. There's something there.
Joe, you got something on that?
If you watch the video, that explosion, the first thing I said to myself is, that's a bomb.
Yes.
That is not a fireworks factory.
Correct.
But then they're saying like there was a stockpile of like something nitrate was there, which is what set it off.
Did you see the shockwave?
My gosh, I can't believe there's not a
More,
higher death rate.
right.
If the numbers are accurate that they're reporting.
They said 6,000, right?
Was it?
Was it 6,000, Sandy? Can you please pull that up? I just saw it.
I don't know. I don't know
day
how-
ago, I
what it
believe. was. If anybody's got that information in front of them, please
why is-
drop it in the chat line.
Why is that in the middle of a city?
Let me tell you something too. Remember how I said that there's a power shift somewhere? Just, again, everybody keep your eyes open, man. That's all I can say. Just
Correct.
keep your eyes open. Pass the mic will now have tutorials for schools with the correct audio and video equipment. So basically what we want to do is we want to make sure that
Very
schools and everybody are aware that we're going to be a platform now teaching teachers, students, etc., how to make the virtual platform a lot more simplistic and save a lot of money for schools, etc. We also will be supplying that equipment, so if you need it, we have our partners with Sound Level Events who will be supplying those equipments that you need. So basically, we see a lot of teachers with their laptops down low, so the camera's up at an angle. It kind of shows, it's really uncomfortable for the students to be able to see. You want to elevate that laptop. You also want to have a separate webcam so that you can put it on a little stand, have it pointing down, and when you put your paperwork, the students can see everything that you're doing, or you can read that paper to them as they follow along like they would in class. There is the screen share, which is really nice, but there are other platforms and other things that you can be utilizing. We also want to make sure you guys have really good audio and clear audio like you hear us right now. It's kind of the same thing that we could do through Zoom. We're going to give you those USB microphones so that you sound just as good as Joe Cruz and DJ Nino when he's at a strip club. With that being said, so please make sure you subscribe and follow Pass the Mic if you have a teacher or know somebody who's in a teaching degree, or somebody who's using Zoom and they're trying to learn new things and new ways to get this virtual thing off the ground, or if you're just an enthusiast, please follow, subscribe, and share with your friends who may need that information. We're pretty much done here, guys. I mean, we've gone a long time.
I love
and normally the show doesn't go this long, but I've had two amazing people on my show. I'm gonna go into some fun trending interactive questions. It's just for you two guys to answer. We'll have some fun with it, and we'll end the show on a happy note. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, let's
Sounds
in.
great.
Let's go.
Any pee-pee break? You need to take a pee-pee break, or you
No,
good?
after.
All right, cool. All right, can you describe your career without saying exactly what it is?
Scientist of sounds that adjust your mood and physical and physical movements.
Microwave airwaves that are presented in your body with a inflection in voice and notes that make you move in the morning, afternoon, or evening at any time with a flip of a dial in your vehicle or anywhere that a wave can be emitted. That's how I would describe yours.
This guy.
Saw that?
Wow.
Now, how do I
need
put
an
that
app
on a
after
business card? It's my question.
I could sell anything, bro. Joe.
I guess you could say I create a vibe for a radio station or a television network, and I bring their words to life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Certainly not as long as your description.
Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it.
There you go.
It's all about that you.
There you go.
I think you're an artist that paints the picture of what the station.
The personality?
Yeah. The personality of the station. You
station
give
as a
the
whole.
station the personality of what it is.
There it is.
See, I should get you to represent me then.
Can you put that on a business card? So
Definitely.
All right, which do you think is worse, failing or never trying? Failing or never trying, excuse me.
Never trying, man. That's horrible. That's horrible. Do not never try.
Bingo. I agree.
Never
100%.
never try.
Go-
Joe?
Never try, man. You never know what you can accomplish. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
Do you work to live or live to work?
I work to live. Definitely. I think that I could wake up tomorrow or not wake up tomorrow. So I'm gonna live and enjoy my time to the fullest while I have it.
You work to live. That's what you said, right?
Huh? I work to live, correct.
Okay.
Not live to work.
Got it. Joe?
I guess it's a little bit of both. I mean, I had to really live to work to build my career to what it has
It is
become.
now.
And then now that it's kind of gotten to where it's at, I can chill out, and now I can.
But we can agree that the end result, no matter what, was to work to live.
Yeah.
So you were working
Sure.
to live.
We also
Even though
share.
you had to live to work, you were still, the end goal was that. You had to do that to get there.
You're right. Absolutely.
If you had to get rid of one of your 5 senses, sight, touch, sound, taste, feeling, which would it be?
Wow. That's tough. That's really tough, actually.
very tough.
Thanks, Sandy, for the deepness on that
Wow.
one, huh?
Damn, as much of it sucks, I think taste.
I got to agree with you there. At least you can kind of live a normal life
Yeah.
by not tasting things.
Yeah, you can remember what a burger tastes like, but
Right.
if you can't feel, how you gonna scratch? How you gonna grab your microphone? It's a mission. If you can't hear, we're going to mix.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you can't
no.
see. Like, our world revolves around these senses.
And feeling, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't do what I do if I couldn't hear anything. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pushing and pulled between the two though. Taste and feeling,
Taste and feeling.
because I guess I'm okay. Like I can still do things, but I can't feel them. I guess I'm okay with that.
What? Yeah.
I guess I'm okay with that.
Feeling is important overall, man. Even
Yeah.
in the
I'm not talking about
bedroom.
like internal feeling.
No,
or
feeling,
it's like
feeling,
physical feeling. Yeah.
Anything.
Like you wouldn't feel the wind on your face or stuff. I guess like if you get hurt, you don't feel that. You know.
Well, that has a positive. You're right.
Yeah,
It does have its
yeah.
positive.
there you go.
Yeah.
No feeling of pain.
If I ate something hot, I don't feel it. So I might not taste afterward, but you know.
Yeah.
If you were to create Facebook competitor, what would you call it? Oh man, I like that one.
If you were to create Facebook's competitor, what would you call it? I don't
Joe?
know, man. Yeah, I'm out of that one. I don't know.
Maybe engage, because it gives you a platform to kind of engage with your followers.
Engage. I think that's a dating site.
No, engage. Come on, bro.
I don't know what I would call it, man. I ain't gonna lie. What about you?
I'd call it the platform.
The platform.
The platform.
The platform. Everybody always wants to be on the platform.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you think
Or-
Facebook's gonna stay around forever, or is it gonna be a?
Or I'd call it. Shout out to Robert. I call it CC.
CCY.
That's the name of his company, but I would
Alright.
call it content creators.
Content creators. Facebook.
CC.
Content creators. I like it. CC.
All right. What's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Man, it was.
I know everything's rolling through his head. Napoleon Dynamite.
No,
No,
so there was this
Napoleon Dynamite
movie.
was awesome,
Yeah, it
bro.
was genius. So there was this movie that it kind of entertained me. It was funny, but now I see it in a completely different light with the days we're living in today. It was an Idiocracy.
Oh, Idiocracy? No,
Was it was a political one that it was all messed up, and what was the
You're talking about the one with Brad Pitt.
was it with Brad Pitt?
Idiocracy is the one with Brad Pitt.
No, it's not. Then that's not that one.
Sandy, look it up.
It's not Idiocracy I'm talking about.
What about you, Joe? Worst
I mean,
movie you've ever seen?
I don't watch a lot of movies, but there was this one Adam Sandler movie, Click.
Oh.
And it was so confusing, especially the beginning, that my wife and I were like, what is this? And we killed it. We couldn't even finish it. So that was probably the worst movie I've ever.
It is called
Almost.
Idiocracy.
It's the one with Brad Pitt, right? Yeah.
I just don't know if it's this one that I'm talking about.
But it is a political movie.
Yeah. This one?
No.
See, there's the one I'm talking about.
No, that's not with Brad Pitt, Sandy.
Exactly, yeah. Well,
That's a different one.
Was it this one?
That's a different one. So
Yeah.
there's a second version of that.
Idiocracy clip State of the Union. So this movie, this
State of the Union, there
Idiocracy
you go.
movie, man.
That was the worst movie?
Yeah, but then now it has a lot of. I want to watch it now. I'm sure it has a lot of truths now.
If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow, what would it be?
You know it about medicinal and how we got lied to about medicinal plants, and that's what brings me to everything that's going on. If we got lied to about something as simple as marijuana, why wouldn't we get lied to about everything else?
But would your TED Talk have gift baskets?
Estefania's
Hell
cracking
yes.
up, bro.
That's what I want to know.
You know how if you go to a award show, the celebrities get gift baskets and all that.
Swag bags.
Yeah,
Swag
bro, we're
bags.
gonna give you swag
Swag
bags of
bags.
holy smokes.
Swag
Oh,
bags.
man. This is awesome. We're creating another show here. I love it. What can you do today that you couldn't do a year ago?
What could I do today?
That you couldn't do a year ago? Go out and touch somebody.
For real, I mean,
Go
almost.
dancing. I mean, there's a million things.
Yeah, tons. I mean, the thing is, man, honestly, COVID didn't change my life that much. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a homebody.
Oh, you.
I'm a homebody.
You at home.
Yeah.
Bailando mon.
Yeah, I'm a homebody, man. Yeah, I stay home. I'm a homebody, bro. Listen, if
shake your
you're a
bum, shake your
patient,
bum,
you know
bum.
what I mean. Potheads, and quarantine go hand in hand. People love staying on the couch watching TV or doing something at home. I'm not like a going out.
You're not a going out. Huh?
I used to be, and I'm like,
So you must be doing the indica, right? You just chill out on the couch.
depends, yeah. In the morning,
Going
you
out?
got to do sativa, then you got to do indica in the couch. There you go.
This guy, bro. I see where the TED Talk's going.
Yeah, right?
What would you do, Joe, for the TED Talk?
I mean, for the TED Talk, I
Yeah.
mean, nobody wants to listen to me, first of all.
We listen
but
to
I
you
get-
every day, dude. What are you talking about?
I love listening to you.
But what I guess I would do is I've gotten really good at working from home. So especially today with this whole COVID stuff, I mean, I could probably give you some good tips.
Okay, cool. How did I stay bored at home? See, I'm bored in the house. I'm
Bored in the house. Bored in the house, and I'm bored in the house.
That's
All
in my demo.
What is your all-time favorite word?
I can't say it because
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Which one?
F.
F? That's your favorite word?
Man, I love it. I love it. I must say it at least 100 times a day.
I love it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Anything happens to me. Anything happens to me.
Oh, man.
Bro.
He's one of the ones. This is bro.
And well, it's either bro or F.
Yeah,
for sure.
bro
I mean,
or
I'm like a sailor all day.
Yeah.
Sandy, what was yours? I'm curious.
Dude.
Dude, bro. Bro, dude.
Bro.
F.
Exactly.
Oh, man. There comes Nino on the side. F, what is going on? What the front door? All right. You have to make a song out of the last food you ate. What is it called?
Yeah.
Hunger.
I haven't had food since breakfast.
See,
So
I'm hungry in the house and I'm hungry in the house.
yes. It's called
It's called Mentolato.
sándwich de salchicha y huevo. It's a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich.
That's a hit right there, bro.
Sausage.
That's
Sandwich de salchicha y huevo. Plain out and simple.
Oh, yeah. Salchicha huevo. Salchicha huevo. Salchicha huevo.
That's exactly.
Dale, huevo. Oh, my God. Lo di lo salchicha. Y lo huevo.
I just realized I haven't eaten since breakfast. We got to eat.
Yeah, we got to eat. We'll eat right after this. Joe, what would your song be?
It's one word, and it's the name, it's the lyrics, it's pizza. Pizza.
You had pizza this morning?
Pizza. No, bro.
You had it last night?
He had lunch.
Oh, you already had lunch.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
I ate
5.
before this, man. Come on.
Lucky you.
Smart man. It's 4:50.
You got to learn to eat.
Lucky you. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Joe, you have been phenomenal, man. I thank you so much. Unfortunately, people couldn't see you, but if you want to see him and you want to see how beautiful this man looks, follow him on Instagram. Sandy, can we put that up on the screen? There it is, right there. You could follow him on Instagram. Joe, why don't you tell him where it's at?
Joe Cruz VO. There you go.
Joe Cruz VO. You have any other platforms? Also, if you want to follow, if you want to get a drop from him, or if you're looking to get your voiceover for your podcast, show, or whatever the case may be, make sure you check them out at the Mix Group, themixgroup.com. They are a phenomenal group of people, man. Shout out to everybody over there. Again, you guys have been phenomenal working with us, and I love you guys for it. And Joe, love you, man. Amazing guy.
Love you, bro. Thanks so much for having me on this.
And of course, to my right and to your left on the screen, the one and only DJ NINO.
Man, thank you. Thank you for the invite. It was a pleasure. Honestly, a pleasure being here. I loved our conversation. I think me and you could go at it for
hours.
And we're never gonna stand down.
But
I
love it. That's what makes a show, man.
Yeah, I don't get mad. That's the thing. People think is like, oh man, he's getting mad. No, man, I like it.
You're getting passionate.
Exactly. Passion and mad is a completely different thing. And I'm finally happy to meet you, Joe. We have forever.
Man. All these years we've never run into each other.
Once 100%. We get an opportunity and one of our favorite restaurants opens back up, I'm going to take all you guys, everybody who's been on the show. We're going to go out. We're going to have a great time.
Let's do it.
We're going to have a great time.
Let's do it. Hey, thank you to everybody that was watching, man. Appreciate it. Unless I see you there. Love you, man.
Yeah, man. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Pass the Mic podcast. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check us out on Spotify if you want to look at us there. But the biggest deal for you guys to do right now is make sure you could check us out, visualize every single person that's on the show, and look at us on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And for every show you guys watch, we make a little bit of money. And with that money, we're going to bring bigger shows, bigger acts, and bigger things. And we want to thank you guys for always tuning in and being faithful listeners. I want to thank everybody out there. With that being said, this is Pass the Mic podcast. Give them out with that B-roll, Sandy. Actually, the A-roll from Joe Cruz. Till the next time, we out.
Like us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at PTMP Live, or visit us at ptmplive.com. Be sure to hit subscribe and turn on your live notifications for more exclusive stuff.